You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
The heat is on, and this is just the beginning. We're taking a look at a prolonged heat wave here across the area, and dangerous temperatures could take us into our Sunday. A lot to unpack in your Code Red forecast.
Metro Police detectives are searching for 3 suspects after a deadly shooting that took place at a Madison park. We've got the new surveillance images this morning. And a former Williamson County teacher and principal is wanted by the TBI. We've got the charges that he's facing, and we're going to tell you what he's accused of doing. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 4 a.m. on this Friday morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We do begin with breaking news out of Edgefield. That's where police are in the middle of an investigation of a shooting that happened around midnight last night. Happened at 921 Woodland Street. You can see it right here on your map. Metro Police are telling us that so far they know that one woman was shot and is still recovering from her injury this morning. Fox 17 News will bring you more updates about this shooting as more information becomes available. But that's all we know for right now. Well, the heat is on. Extremely hot temperatures are sweeping across the nation. You got to be prepared if you're going to be out celebrating Father's Day or Bonnaroo. Greg Bobus is here right now. 90s, Greg, and not just, little 90s, like mid-upper 90s.
Mid-upper 90s, good chunk of the next 12 days possibly here. We'll typically get a couple days here. You get a break, couple days. We are in the long haul for this one. This is day number 2 of what could end up being 14 in a row at this point. I've taken out almost all chances for rain in the entire forecast, and until we get a breeze or we get some rain, we also have air quality alerts once again. Sunday, Father's Day, still near record-breaking heat. We'll only have 1 degree off from the temperatures for the forecast here. We have 99 in the forecast. If we hit that, we missed the temperature record by 1 degree. Unhealthy once again for sensitive groups, which we talked about yesterday and into today. That means that if you have respiratory issues, if you're young or if you're old, we have to worry about just, overly exerting ourselves. If you were okay yesterday in the amount of what you did outside and how you felt after it, treat today the exact same with delicacy because it's a little bit warmer today. You can even see the haze, and we haven't gotten to sunrise yet. All of our buildings downtown, we don't have any fog. We've just got this stagnant air over us that just won't leave. 69 degrees right now. We're crystal clear. Nothing to worry about in that department. You're going to get plenty of sun again. 85 degrees at 10, 93 degrees at 2, and we're going to hold into the lows middle 90s throughout the entire afternoon. Here is a look at your extended forecast. 94 today, 92 degrees. Tomorrow, 99 for Father's Day, and then the mid-90s will continue Monday through Thursday. Rain chances keep depleting themselves from the forecast. We'll look ahead to the 8 to 14-day outlook. How much longer this spell could last than just what's on your screen.
Steer clear traffic at 403 this morning. Quick look here at I-40 near Donaldson Pike. This is over near the airport. This is where we typically start, and things are rolling along really nicely over there. No big problems so far this morning as you get out the door. We'll let you know if things do build up over there near the airport coming up here a little bit later, but right now we're good. We're also going to be checking out near Manchester. That's where Bonnaroo has kicked off, and a lot of people are still flocking there to Coffee County. We're going to check on that coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's go to Operation Crime and Justice. A former Mid-State principal is now being added to the TBI's most wanted list. Detectives are searching for 54-year-old Jonathan Urich. He is facing multiple charges, including crimes against children. According to the TBI, while on bond following his December 2022 indictment, he cut off his ankle monitor and ran away. Now, anyone with information on Urich's whereabouts is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. There is a reward of $2,500 being offered for information that leads to his arrest. Well, new this morning, Metro Police are working to identify 3 people involved in a deadly shooting that happened in a Madison park. We first brought you this story as breaking news just yesterday. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joins us live this morning with an update on what police are telling us.
Good morning. Well, Justin, the first update is that police are looking for the suspects, and also the victim has been identified as 16-year-old Justin Robinson. They say that he was shot somewhere behind me in Madison Park on Wednesday afternoon. They tell me that 3 teen suspects were involved at the time of the shooting. Take a look at your screen. Police releasing these images in hopes of finding them. You can see one man is wearing a black shirt, black pants, and white shoes. The other is wearing a white hoodie, jeans, and blue shoes. The third is wearing a black shirt and khaki shorts. Police say the shooting stemmed from an argument between the victim, his friend, and the 3 other teenagers. The victim, police say, was shot in the back, taken to a nearby hospital, and later died. Police say they believe the 3 suspects lived in the areas and want them for questioning. They are asking if anyone has any information on who these suspects might be to please contact police. Reporting live here, Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. Well, up
My water bill is
next,
supposed to be $40, not $450.
40, not 450, says one man in Laverne. We're going to tell you how he's fighting to get their money back after paying 4 times their usual bill on their water bill in Laverne. Also coming up, well, new this morning, the Murray County Fire Department is warning people to be careful as they clean up following last month's EF3 tornado. They say a person was seriously hurt yesterday after being pinned against a vehicle by a tree limb on Old Highway 99. They say that person had to be life flighted to Vanderbilt Medical Center. Crews are asking people to wear the proper protective equipment during cleanup and be aware that trees may shift as they're being cut. An update this morning to a crash that caused major delays on I-24. According to the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the crash happened around 12 o'clock on Thursday. A tractor trailer and 5 other vehicles were involved. We're learning from Smoky Bar News that one person has died and multiple others are recovering from injuries. This was not the only crash on I-24. A few hours later, a second crash happened, but no one was severely hurt in that one. The investigation into the crashes continue on. An update now on the leaking of the Covenant shooters' writings, the Covenant school shooters' writings. A Metro judge has rejected a request by the Tennessee Star, that's an online news site, to cancel a hearing that's set for Monday about the latest leak. Now, the chancellor, Aisha Miles, is asking the Tennessee Star to show exactly why they should not be held in contempt. An attorney for the Star says that the Tennessee Shield law that helps courts from pressuring news outlets to reveal their sources is the reason why. Tennessee Star says it will appeal whatever the judge's order is. The Star is among the group of people who are filing lawsuits to force Metro Police to make the shooters' journals open to the public.
From my calculation, they had me at 906,000 gallons of usage. From my meter calculation, I've only used 90,000.
A Laverne family is battling with the city after being overcharged for their water bill every month over the last 2 years. Now the total adds up to around several $1,000s. Robert Starnes says that the number on his water meter and the cost simply don't match up with the city's records. Starnes has notified the city, complaining about the costly differences there for several months, but it never goes anywhere. Fox 17 News reached out to the city of Laverne. They tell us they admit there was an error in their system that caused the Starnes account to go up like that. A city spokesperson says they tried to make things right by offering the family a $4,000 credit on their water bill.
By me paying $300 to $400 a month for the last 2.5 years, a credit isn't good enough for me.
Well, the city says moving forward, they will have to come to an agreement as to how the Starnes family will be reimbursed for the money that they've spent.
Coming up, the heat is on. It's going to last even longer than we previously thought. And radar, there's nothing on it. I've actually shrunk down the chance for some rain. New details coming up in your forecast.
Steer Clear traffic takes us out to Manchester. This is the exit that people use for Bonnaroo. 4:14 is the time. Listen to this. Heat-related hospital visits are hitting record highs across parts of the United States in 2023. A report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention shows that the majority of ER visits for heat-related illnesses like strokes and sunburns occurred from May through September. Now, last year, all areas across the country saw at least one day where heat-related ER visits were at an extreme level. Last July and August saw almost 50% higher rate of ER visits compared to the average peak from 2018 and 2022. Let's talk about your forecast here, as we're going to have more of those days where I imagine a lot of people will be worried about heat-related illnesses here over the next few days.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yesterday was day one to kind of get all the things back into your brain of, what to do, when to do it, just kind of setting the par here for where we're supposed to be. Now we're going to be in this for a good 7 to 14 days. Right now, much warmer than yesterday morning. I told you yesterday morning was kind of that last little taste of some coolness. We're still near 70 degrees. We're crystal clear. Sun comes up here around 5:30. By the time we reach into about 10 o'clock, we're in the mid-80s. So again, it's very similar to yesterday. Whatever you did to attempt to beat the heat, if it worked when it came to what you were wearing, how much water you were drinking, limiting time outside, do all the exact same things today, because today will be about a degree or two warmer than yesterday was. Up and out the door. We're starting warmer, which means the chance to end warmer will be there as well. 69 degrees at 5 o'clock. We'll dip 1 or 2 more degrees until that sun takes back over, and then already into the 70s by 7 o'clock. We have some haze out there. A few areas of a little patchy fog have developed. It's kind of an uncomfortable start compared to how the entire week has been, and we've still got some issues at BNA. Now, not back home. 78 at 9, 90 degrees at noon at the airport, and 93 and sunny the entire day and no wind. So we have flight delays and cancellations already. 11 delays, we have 3 cancellations. All 3 of those cancellations are to airports in Florida. We've been telling you how they've had a ton of rain here over the course of the last 3 days, and now that is prompting areas like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and also Orlando to have already canceled 1 flight to each of those airports. Taking a look here, lunchtime forecast. Yeah, it's going to be hot, up to 87 already by 11 o'clock. High today of 94. Hard pressed to find much cloud cover throughout today, so you're finding your own shade and you're creating your own comfort this time around. The 7-day forecast keeps it loaded up with 90-degree days. Now we have had 4 so far this year, but by the time we're done with the 7-day forecast, that will put us up to 11 days. And we're not done. After Thursday into Friday and Saturday of next weekend, still in the 90s. All eyes are glued to Sunday. Sunday will likely end up being a code red weather day if we continue to see the humidity building like we anticipate. We could have heat index values on Sunday itself to go between 100 and 105 degrees, and then our night times get even more oppressive in the middle 70s for overnight lows, kicking us off into next week.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get you out and about to I-24 at the Manchester exit there in the Coffee County area. This is where tens of thousands of people are showing up for Bonnaroo. Last night wrapped night 1, of course night 2 coming up tonight, and then throughout the weekend. So just know it's going to be extra traffic out here in this area. Right now we seem to be fine. I see authorities are out there. That flashing light on your screen is the exit there people use. So they're there just to make sure that everything remains orderly and together as people head out there to the farm for Bonnaroo. Good to see things are calm. We're going to check in on some other areas of town coming up here soon. Continuing coverage as pro-Palestinian protesters are now still taking place on some college campuses across the United States, we're told, even though a lot of them had died down in recent weeks. It's possible some could be making a comeback here. That's what Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins is reporting, and she's taking a look at some of those protests in New York City.
Pro-Palestinian demonstrators filling a subway car in New York City, making it clear not everyone was welcome.
This is your chance to get out. Okay, no Zionists, we're good.
While many found the scene concerning, Aaron Tarr with the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression says it appears to be protected speech.
Just based on the one short video clip I watched, I don't think there's enough there to prove that any of the protesters were making a true threat. The First Amendment is intended to give maximum breathing space for political speech and debate in this country.
What is not constitutionally protected protest is what happened in Brooklyn, where demonstrators vandalized the home of the Jewish director of the Brooklyn Museum, throwing red paint and hanging a sign calling her a white supremacist Zionist. NYC Mayor Eric Adams sharing the images on social media, writing, "This is not peaceful protest or free speech. This is a crime, and it's overt, unacceptable anti-Semitism." Also in New York this week, protesters went to the memorial on Wall Street for the hundreds who died at the Nova Music Festival on October 7th.
The Nova Music Festival! Zionists decided to rave!
The White House calling the memorial demonstration horrifying. Law enforcement analyst John Miller telling CNN these demonstrations have evolved and escalated as outside groups get more involved as fears of serious violence grow.
That's part of the concern of NYPD intelligence people, which is as the vitriol reaches this higher pitch, vandalism, anti-Semitism, will somebody cross that line?
Amid these concerns, 8 people with suspected ties to ISIS were arrested in just the past few days in New York City, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
Making national headlines this morning, demolition of the Parkland, Florida high school where the gunman opened fire, killing 17 people 6 years ago, will begin today. That work was supposed to begin yesterday, but heavy rain pushed things back. Students never returned to the building after it was used as evidence in the gunman's murder trial. Demolition will be finished before the district resumes classes coming up in the fall. Multiple city leaders are joining forces to ask for the public's help in national severe weather to deal with rather severe weather that rocked the mid-state back in May. Now, many residents and business owners are still trying to recover. You can see some of that recovery happening there from the damage right there on the several screens we put in front of you. The severe weather caused 3 fatalities and damage to 459 homes in the state of Tennessee. Now, so far what we know is that 137 of these homes were destroyed. You can see it right there. 137 of these particular homes were destroyed. The governor, Bill Lee, as well as the U.S. Senator Marshall Blackburn and others are requesting that a major declaration for a disaster be declared by President Biden. Bill Lee, the governor, says that the federal disaster assistance will bring much needed economic relief and resources to help our communities and fellow Tennesseans recover from the devastation of those storms. Of course, we'll continue to follow things for you, let you know how Tennessee gets back on their feet. 4:24 is the time President Joe Biden made a stop in Italy for a G7 summit. This comes as political tensions between the United States and other countries is starting to heighten just a little bit. The President Biden and the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also agreed to a long-term security pact. That means the United States will continue to train Ukrainian forces and provide military intelligence and weapons for the next 10 years.
Our goal is to strengthen Ukraine's credible defense and deterrence capabilities for the long term.
This is an agreement on steps to guarantee sustainable peace, and therefore it benefits everyone in the world.
Well, next on the president's agenda is to rally support from fellow G7 leaders for a ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas.
Here we are at 4:25, already 70 degrees outside. Our temperatures did not drop that much overnight, and today we're going to go for number 5 on our list of 90-degree days, and buckle up because this number is going to grow every single day for the next week to week and a half, possibly even 2 weeks. There's a good chance we leave the entire month of June seeing 90 every day. That'll put us up to right around 20 days already before we even hit July. Taking a look here today, 94 degrees, easily hitting that mark of 90. We hit 94 yesterday, so we'll call it round 2. A little more humidity. That's the only thing you're going to notice here today. That'll be a change from your Thursday, and sunset the exact same time. We're almost kind of just copying and pasting yesterday's day into today. But the weekend itself, little dip and then a big surge in temperature. We're a little better Saturday than we are for Sunday. Sunday, I have not removed that 99 for the last 3 days, and that's going to stay right there. Humidity rises to the point to where our Heat index values for Sunday could be as high as 102 to 105 degrees in the Nashville area. You get a little away from downtown, still right near 100 degrees. The reason Saturday's better, even though it's in the 90s, lower 90s, so not quite as abrasive. You can track these hour-by-hour temperatures, your 7-day forecast, and also get your latest forecasts on the go by downloading the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You can scan the QR code right there. You can go to the App Store or Google Play Store. Those are ways you can just get those updates straight to you when you're out and about, and they'll even help you. Maybe you have a vacation coming up, no matter where you're at in the country. Everything will help figure you out every county you're in the entire country.
Fired and now indicted. What a former Metro police officer is accused of doing while on duty that could earn him some jail time.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Police are still searching for the 3 suspects that they say were involved in Wednesday's fatal shooting at Madison Park. Coming up, I'll have all the details.
Plus, more than music, what Bonnaroo fans says keep them coming back year after year after year to the farm.
And waking up this morning here a little hazy, another air quality alert day, and we have to get used to this. This pattern looks to be even longer than we originally anticipated. How many more 90s are going to be on tap?
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for watching right here with us on Fox 17 News this morning, just around 4:30 here on this Friday. I am Justin McFarland. We are going to begin with some dangerous heat temperatures that are lingering across much of the western part of the United States, but also bringing with it some of that record-breaking temperature into the triple digits, and some of that will hover right here among the mid-state coming up here this weekend. Greg Bobus is here now to explain exactly what we are expected to see as we get into the Father's Day weekend. And Greg, if you love your father, I imagine air conditioner is a good gift.
Air conditioner is your best friend. Close the shades, put on something that your dad likes to watch on TV, get a good meal, and put that AC as high as you can. Call it a day. That's how you want to roll through it, because our one potential record-breaking day here back home across the mid-state is going to be on Sunday, unfortunately. Heat is in control. Sunday still near record. We're finding a raindrop. No, we're not. I have decreased chances for rain in the forecast. We had Monday into Tuesday with the possibility. I don't see much happening here. We're stuck in this pattern for quite some time now. Air quality alert again today. We have not had wind in several days, so all the pollutants that get stirred up every day, you know, all the carbon dioxide from all of us driving around, all the allergens we've got out there have not moved. Another tough day if you have respiratory issues. Keep that in mind. It's the exact same places we had to deal with it yesterday. So if yesterday you were okay, today's going to be very similar. If it got you and caught you off guard a little bit, you exerted yourself a little too much, or it was just a little tough to breathe, today might be very similar. So we're kind of going repeat with that. How much warmer are we right now than yesterday at the same time? Well, most of us are a good 8 to 10 degrees warmer. You got to the plateau, not quite as warm in terms of the influence compared to yesterday, but we're right near 70. Right side of your screen, your current temps are going to be there all the way through 9 o'clock. They're going to climb quicker than yesterday. We're going to hit the same high temperature, but we're starting warmer, so that climb starts more quickly. We'll be up to 80 degrees by right around 9 o'clock. 90 degrees will be your temperature by noon. The 7-day forecast, I've elevated a few more temperatures. Thankfully, I've not really gone up too high when it comes to any additions to Sunday, but it's still at 99 degrees for Father's Day. The record's 100 degrees set back in 1952, to give you a reference point there. 96 on Monday, and then middle 90s continue Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We were hoping to bring a shower or storm Monday into Tuesday, but now that weather pattern has shifted just a little. Now it looks just like prolonged heat, and the humidity is one of the next big things we'll talk about in the next check of the forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you a good look here at I-40 at Spence Lanes. You make that drive in from the east side of town. Things rolling along really nicely over there so far. No big problems in either direction here as we check in on some of our steer clear traffic maps. We're doing fine out there. Everybody in the green. We'll continue to follow things out there for you, let you know if something does get in your way. Let's get to Operation Crime and Justice and a very interesting story. A former Metro police officer is now facing felony charges. Listen to this. He allegedly appeared in an adult video while he was on duty. It happened on the site OnlyFans. Metro Police have arrested this man right here, 33-year-old Sean Herman, at his Sumner County home. This is following an investigation that he took part in a mock traffic stop on the OnlyFans site. Metro Police say that he inappropriately touched a female driver that was also in that particular video. The investigation shows that the video was made on April the 26th while that officer was on duty with the Madison precinct. He worked with the department for 3 years. Metro Police are asking for your help when it comes to the community being able to identify 3 suspects who could be involved in a fatal shooting that took place at Madison Park just Wednesday. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joins us live from Madison Park there with the details. Karen.
Good morning. That's right, Justin. They are searching for the suspects, but this is a part of what neighbors believe is a larger trend. You might remember that we recently reported on 13-year-old Aiden Hayes being shot and killed at Red Caboose Park in Bellevue, and now another family is laying their loved one to rest. Police say 16-year-old Justin Robinson was shot right here somewhere behind me at Madison Park on Wednesday and later died. Police say he died similarly to how Hayes died over an argument between teens. Police are still searching for these 3 teen suspects involved in Robinson's shooting. Police say the argument was between the victim, his friend, and the 3 other teenagers. They say the victim ran, was shot in the back, again taken to a nearby hospital, and then died. Police say they believe the 3 suspects lived in the area and want them for questioning. They're asking anyone with any information on those 3 suspects that you just saw on your screen to please contact them. Reporting live here in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. Well, Bonnaroo 2024 is now underway at the farm near Manchester, and attendees are in for a very long, hot weekend. Music fans from across the country are streaming through the festival gates, and they are dressed for the weather, which could be in the 90s. Big acts include the likes of Post Malone and Megan Thee Stallion. But everyone we spoke with about the heat there, they say they're not worried about that. Instead, they're attracted by the vibe at Bonnaroo and the freedom to just kind of be who you are.
Come here, you see all walks of life, doctors, lawyers, teachers, people walking around in glitter, costumes, just to get away from themselves. So this allows you, there's no judgment here, so you see some of the most craziest costumes, and I think that's the best part of it.
Just to get away from yourself. The festival runs through Sunday out there in Manchester. Well, you can get more information from big stories like this delivered right to your inbox every morning by signing up for our daily newsletter. You can do so on the homepage of our website at fox17.com. Well, up past her bedtime, the NFL alumni event this morning, as Fox 17 News' Erica Glover, you see her right there, was very involved in. We're going to tell you more about that event coming up here in a few. You see Eddie George and others. Fox 17 News, we're your only live and local news source with you. 4:38 is the time in your community this morning. A local nonprofit needs your help saving lives. Coordinators at Blood Assurance say they are in urgent need of blood and plasma donations as we head into the summer months. June 14th is World Blood Donor Day. They say now is the time to give again for those who have not donated blood in a while. To be eligible to donate blood or plasma, you have to be at least 17 years old. If you would like to donate, the information is right there on your screen. Blood Assurance is a Tennessee-based not-for-profit serving hospitals in both Middle Tennessee and Eastern Tennessee as well.
Here we are working through day number 2 of our 90-degree heat, and this is just really the beginning of what's to come. We have the humidity in a very similar stage of yesterday, but the heat going to crank up a little quicker than it did. Yesterday morning wasn't that bad till around 10, 11 o'clock. Now we're uncomfortable as early as 9 a.m. Humidity will have us feeling it a touch, but the heat going to be there for a prolonged, again, amount of our day. So that's what let's work through. And this is only going to get worse before it gets better. The UV index is right where it was at yesterday as well. That 15-minute sunburn time. If you're out the pool later on today and if you have access to one, Well, first of all, pool water is going to be getting warm really quickly. Don't need to use any heaters here by the end of this weekend. Taking a look at 85 degrees as early as 10 a.m. 93 degrees at 2 p.m., 93 at 5 o'clock. Tons of sun, just like yesterday. No real surprises in the forecast compared to yesterday. We hit 94 for Thursday. We're aiming for 94 degrees today. However, by the end of the weekend, we're near record-breaking heat. We've lowered rain chances next week, and we're looking ahead to days 8 to 14. We're not going to like what we see if we don't like these 90s. We'll get to that coming up in the next full check of your forecast.
All right, thank you, Greg. Well, several NFL stars and a very familiar face here at Fox 17 got together last night for a round of golf. Fox 17 News morning anchor Erica Glover joined members of the Tennessee Titans Alumni Association as well as hosts of other All-Pro NFL legends for the 15th annual NFL Alumni Charity Golf Classic. It took place at the Hermitage Golf Course, and from what we can tell, everybody seems to have had a great time. As you take a look out there, see some of those, again, familiar faces. I know the likes of Mike Rozier and Eddie George. I saw them out there. I'm not sure how Erica's golf game is, but I'm sure it all went for a great cause as you take a look at some of those faces out there in Hermitage. Clear traffic has got the very latest headlines coming in from I-65 at Trinity Lane on the north side. We're going to give you your latest drive times coming up in a few. Plus, a live look this morning for an area that is ready for the weekend. This is located in the heart of the Smoky Mountains. 4:44 is the time. In your community this weekend is the 4th annual Bridge to Broadway Juneteenth Block Party. This is part of the National Museum of African American Music's Black History Month, or Black Music Month, rather, and their big celebration that they're having. Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey on the scene out there. The Bridge to Broadway is a block party that's happening on Sunday. It's going to happen on Broadway between 5th and 6th Avenue. That's right in front of Bridgestone Arena. So it's right there at that intersection. It kicks off at noon. They're going to have live music and vendors from across the Nashville Black Market, and it will run until 8 p.m. The event is free and open to the public, but a warning, it's going to be hot. Really, really hot, with temperatures in the mid to upper 90s coming up on Sunday. In your community this morning, a local nonprofit is opening up a brand new facility to help address Nashville's housing crisis. Now, Dream Street now has 48 apartments for people who don't have homes while they're waiting for something more permanent. The nonprofit says it's not a house, but it's a safe, drug-free environment that will help residents from becoming homeless. This new oasis also offers wraparound services, including grocery, as well as a social worker and mental health counseling.
Housing is not a problem, it's a crisis, and we work with a lot of families that we call pre-homeless. They're individuals who have jobs, they have families, a lot of them are caregivers for other people, and they're caught in a vastly growing city with nowhere to go.
Well, it just opened, but the units are already filled. There is a waiting list for future openings. As the heat turns up this summer, many families will be going out to the pool to try and cool down. But there are some things to keep in mind. Whether you're swimming in your own pool or using a neighborhood pool, it's important to remember that youngsters know how to swim. That's because the water, while cool and refreshing, can also be dangerous for children and adults, really. But drowning is the leading cause of death for kids ages 0 to 14. The CDC encourages parents to get swim lessons for their children from a good, reputable source.
We focus on helping the kids be as comfortable and as safe as possible in the water. Our whole program is distance-based, so it's really comfortable and helpful for parents to understand what the kids are capable of. And we do that through our world-class facility, professional instructors, and my favorite piece is our mobile technology.
For more information on being able to prevent drowning. We have linked that information from the CDC to our particular website at fox17.com. Just look under Fox Links. 4:47 is the time, Greg. People are going to try everything they can. Swimming pools, ice, AC, lots of fans, you name it. Trying to stay cool, trying to beat the heat.
Anything you can do. I mean, one of the best things you can do, it's kind of, it's one of those kind of common sense things, but it's very easy to forget.
Yeah.
Any room you're not using, you can always close the vents from the AC. And just close the blinds too. If you're not going to be using that room,
okay,
doesn't need to add the air conditioning. It just might save you a couple of bucks.
That's a method. A lot of people are trying that.
Yeah, I mean, and it just might, because Justin and I was just talking to you during the commercial break.
Yeah.
This is not set in stone, but a lot of indicators are showing that we might not get back into the 80s until next month.
Next month?
Next month. That's the possibility of being at or above 90.
A few weeks from now.
Yeah, several weeks from now, worth of 90-degree heat. The heat is in control. Sunday is still near a record breaker for us here. We're all clear when it comes to code red. We're only going to be in code red when there are this many 90-degree days in a row, when we know the actual temperature or the heat index will be above 100 degrees for all of us, because otherwise, we're just going to be saying the same thing every day. It's hot, it's hot, it's hot. So now it comes down to, what are the mornings like? What are the evenings like? Can cloud cover help out a little bit? Can we find some rain? It's all the other little variables that will help make every day change up just slightly. Like this morning, it is definitely warmer than yesterday morning by about 10 degrees. We're steady right near 70 degrees in the Nashville area, middle 60s for many of us here. Those current temperatures are always on the right side of your screen. It's a little bit warmer in Nashville, and it's going to be every single day. We're a little bit of a heat island here. What does that mean? We have less grass, we have more concrete, and we have more buildings. Those absorb the heat, and it just takes longer for those areas to let the heat back into the atmosphere, whereas when you have a lot of plants, trees, grass, they don't absorb the heat as quickly, and it typically gives you a little bit of a cooler overnight pattern and also afternoon pattern. So the closer we get to downtown, and whether we're talking Murfreesboro, Nashville, Clarksville, all the areas that have more of the pavement than we do green space are going to be a little bit hotter. Now, we're still good to go when it's wash or wait for the car, but if you're going to do it outside by yourself, I would just say do it early in the day or do it right around sunset. We're going to go to the car wash, though. Actually, just driving on through, you're fine. We have no rain here for the next 7 days. One chance at 20%. That's all we've got looking into Monday. That means our gardening forecast, you're doing all the work yourself here. It's going to be a really due diligence here when it comes to trying to keep all of our plants good to go. We'll be up to 90 degrees as early as noon, 93 at 3 p.m. So if you're out there in the garden, a lot of extra water for you. But talking about watering, only water your plants near sunrise and sunset, not right in the middle of the day.
4:49 is the time. Checking into your steer clear traffic. This is going to be 65 Trinity Lane, north of town. You can see there traffic moving along without issue. This is an area that will bunch up later in the morning. Rest assured, things will become slow here a little bit later as people make that push in from the north side. Right now, though, could not ask for better traffic here at this particular part of the morning. We'll continue to follow things out there for you live through 9. Well, Father's Day is this weekend, and there's still plenty of time left to buy your dad a special gift. In today's Consumer Watch, Jennifer Sullivan takes a look at Father's Day spending trends and has some ideas for the last-minute shoppers.
Right, good job.
Father's Day is all about celebrating the important father figures in our lives. And whether it's with a greeting card or special outing, there are plenty of ways to show them how much they're appreciated.
There's lots of great ideas out there, lots of great options, and of course, spending time with Dad.
The National Retail Federation estimates consumers will spend $189.81 on gifts and celebrations per person this year, with total spending reaching $22.4 billion. That's slightly down from last year, but still much higher than pre-pandemic levels.
Even as we're seeing broader retail spending go back to pre-pandemic norms, we're still seeing this elevated spending on these holidays and special events.
Aside from greeting cards, clothes top the list of the most popular items for Dad this year, followed by special outings like sporting events, gift cards, or personal care items like beard trimmers.
We're also seeing some new areas of gifting really rise in popularity. Things like personal care, sporting goods or leisure items, as well as things like automotive accessories, home improvement, and tools.
And if you're looking for ways to save on spending, Cullen says many retailers began offering discounts after Memorial Day. So keep an eye out for sales. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
So now that Father's Day is here, we're wondering how you are planning to celebrate the dads in your life. We asked exactly what you're getting your dad for Father's Day. Here's a look at some of the things that are topping the list. Now, so far, out of the 150 or so people who've answered, 19% of you say you're getting dad a gift card. It's hard to go wrong with that. 15% say you're getting dad a meal. Another 8% says clothing items. And then other is the largest at 57%, getting something specific to dad, probably whatever he may like. So you can chime in for yourself by scanning that QR code right there at the side of your screen. Open up that camera, scan that QR code. It takes you directly to the poll. You can also see us over at Fox Nashville on our X page. Taylor. 4:55 is the time. Live look there. Across Lower Broadway, you can see streets are clean this morning, looking all right after some overnight cleaning done by the city of Nashville. According to Greg, that's the only kind of water the streets are going to see for the next several days.
Oh, yes.
Talk to him now.
Every drop of it, Justin's going to be one that we put out there ourselves. Nothing's happening from the sky here for at least the next 7 to 10 days. We might not have rain in the forecast until we get toward the last week of the month. We're talking about here of 95 later on this afternoon. We hit 94 yesterday, and that did not break a record, but today's going to be within 2 degrees of a record. And then Sunday, we're within 1 degree of a record high temperature. We really did flip the switch. The beginning of this week, think back to Monday, the high temperature was right around 80 degrees. Now we're waking up and it's 70 already. That's your Father's Day, 99. Last 3 years, Father's Day has been in the upper 80s and low 90s. No rain, and no rain this time around, but definitely a little more abrasive. Heat index values teetering right around, if not a few degrees above 100 for Sunday itself. What does this mean for Bonnaroo today, tomorrow, and Sunday? Temperatures low to middle 90s in Manchester. It's going to be hotter than yesterday. The nighttime temperatures, that's the really big thing here with this being a camping event and a lot of overnight events that are out there too. Yeah, we're going to be in the upper 60s and low 70s, a little mugginess. No raindrops. Hydration has to be done by us, whether it's for ourselves, quite literal when we're outside, whether it's the gardens, the dogs, everything. We have to do all of that ourselves. Just keep that in mind. Now, as far as going forward, we don't see much relief. In the next couple of days after this, we'll be right in the middle 90s as well. And by the end of next week, we could be back into the upper 90s. So this is a pattern we've settled into. It really is going to be every day just pushing through it and finding windows of opportunity that are a little less hot and humid than the peak hours during the afternoon.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning at 4:57. This is a look here at I-24 near Hickory Hollow Parkway. This is in the Antioch area. As you make that drive into town, you can see there we're doing just fine coming in from the Antioch portion of town. So if you've got that drive coming in from Smyrna, Laverne, pushing in past Bell Road, you're doing just fine so far. Things are expected to clog up a little bit later this morning, but right now, smooth sailing. Taylor Swift fans really did shake it off at her concert in Scotland, so much so that scientists recorded seismic activity in that area. Now listen to this. The seismologists found that reaction to her performances of Ready for It, Cruel Summer, Champagne Problems from the 73,000 fans resulted in the most seismic activity each night. And they were able to determine that because of one of them there, they were able to determine that because by chance, one of the scientists were there in the crowd.
The show runs at exactly the same time intervals every night. So we can see on all 3 days the spikes occur at the same points. Fortunately, I was there and I was taking lots of photos and videos. And so I was able to cross-reference when the big spikes happen with the timestamps on my photos.
See, it's science. It's science. It's not the first time Swifties have made the Earth move. It's a phenomenon recorded several times during her Eras tour. Seismologists also found that the Swifties caused more seismic movement in Edinburgh than previous concerts being held by the likes of Beyonce and Bruce Springsteen. So there. If you love the great outdoors, you're in for a treat this month. Aside from the summer solstice, June is full of things like the strawberry moon. This month's full moon will fall on June 21st. The strawberry moon got its name from the wild strawberries that ripen during the month of June. The next full moon will be in July. It will be known as the buck moon, named after the antlers that grow from bucks around that time of the year. Well, looking ahead, as many people are set to celebrate Juneteenth from all walks of life. They'll be down there to do that in Murfreesboro. The Bradley Academy Museum and Cultural Center is hosting the 2020 Street Festival, along with multiple blocks of South Academy Street near the museum. This year's celebration runs from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. You can look forward to a lot of music, dance performances, activities for children, plus displays of art, and you can't forget the food trucks, all happening down there in Murfreesboro. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
5 o'clock is the time. Metro Police detectives searching for shooters responsible for a death at Madison Park. Now we're sharing new surveillance photos.
Violence and family dynamics a lot of times get passed down from one generation to another generation.
Violence committed by young people spiking more community concerns. The heightened calls for action this Friday morning.
And we're waking up here about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. We're gearing up for another day in the 90s, and we're gearing up for another full week in the 90s. All the new changes to the forecast overnight coming up in a few minutes.
10 degrees warmer. Okay, Greg, thank you so much for joining us here on a Friday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has this Friday morning off. We're going to begin with breaking news from Edgefield. Take a look at this map. Police are investigating a shooting that happened around midnight. We understand it happened on 921 Woodland Street. So far, we understand one woman was shot and is recovering from her injuries. Of course, Fox 17 News will share more updates as the details continue coming in. Right now, though, we do want to get right on over to our Code Red meteorologist, because what you just said has me thinking, what?
Which part of it? There's a lot of things that can make you
10 degrees hotter.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're at 70 right now. Yesterday morning was in the upper 50s and low 60s, so the heat's already on this morning. It's not going to get much better. Every morning for the next week and a half is going to be in the upper 60s and 70s. Now, this is the big question we have to start asking ourselves in all reality here. Could we be at or above 90 degrees every day for the rest of the month? There's a really good chance we could, if not upper 80s. And into the 90s every day. That's in the Nashville area. Now, we know the Cumberland Plateau always shaves a few degrees off of that. When you get away from downtown, you can be a little bit on the cooler side. And when I mean cool, I mean it's just not as hot. But Nashville, our records for each day in terms of what we put into the calendar for what happened, likely will hit 90. Little to no rain ahead. I was banking on some possible rain for Tuesday, hoping for it. Not seeing it now. Air quality alert in effect again for today, very much so like yesterday. So if you have the respiratory issues, the asthma, and all that like we were talking about yesterday morning, and you were okay yesterday, you should be okay again today. But the sun coming up for us here in about 20 minutes, and you can already see we've got some haze that's out there to start off the morning. Where do we go and how quickly? 85 degrees by 10 o'clock, 93 at 2. 95 will be our high temperature right in the middle of the afternoon.
All right, I'm hot already. Thank you so much, Greg. We do want to check in for your steer clear traffic, which takes us out near the airport. Here you go on your screen. This is a live look at I-40 at Donaldson Pike. A very busy area, especially on a Friday morning. But right now we are giving you the green light if you're heading out to this area. We're going to share some more steer clear traffic updates, though, throughout 9 o'clock. Before heading out the door, we're also sharing the top 3 headlines that you're going to want to know before you hit the door. President Biden and other leaders meeting for a second day in Italy for the G7 summit. The focus, though, of today's discussion does include migration and also wars in Ukraine and Gaza. Today's session comes after the group agreed to back a $50 billion loan to Ukraine for its fight against Russia. Back here at home, Senate Republicans blocking legislation to protect in vitro fertilization rights for women across the country. Almost all Republicans voted against the Right to IVF Act, some saying the measure extends past IVF treatment and infringes on religious freedoms. And this measure would have guaranteed a woman's access to in vitro fertilization, other fertility treatments, and also expanded insurance coverage. We're going to Florida, where torrential rain in this video just drenching parts of South Florida. And unfortunately, if you're heading this way, more rain is on the way. As we head into the weekend, in fact, flood watches are in effect for more than 7 million people across South Florida. This morning here in Middle Tennessee, Metro Police are working to track down 3 people involved in a deadly shooting that happened at a park in Madison. More crime, unfortunately. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live with a closer look, Karen, at new surveillance photos.
That's right, Erica. And the victim has been identified as 16-year-old Justin Robinson. Police say he was shot somewhere here behind me at Madison Park on Wednesday afternoon. Police say there were 3 suspects involved at the time of the shooting. Take a look at your screen. Police releasing these images in hopes of finding them. You can see one man is wearing a black shirt, black pants, and white shoes. The other is wearing a white hoodie, jeans, and blue shoes. The third is wearing a black shirt and khaki shorts. Police say the shooting stemmed from an argument between the victim, his friend, and the 3 other teenagers. The victim was shot in the back, police say, and later died at a nearby hospital. Police say they believe the 3 suspects lived in the area and want them for questioning. They say if you have any information on who they might be, to please contact them. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Not been good at intervening effectively.
Continuing coverage right now as local leaders and also community members try and tackle a concerning increase in teen crime. In just a matter of weeks, police, we've talked about this, they have investigated 2 teenagers killed by other teenagers. 2 weeks ago, a 13-year-old boy was shot and killed at the Red Caboose Park in Bellevue. This is a really popular park, the Red Caboose Park, for families. Then on Wednesday, a 16-year-old was killed at a park in Madison. Back-to-back violence that we have reported on involving young people now has some truly wondering what is being done to curb all the violence.
Violence and family dynamics a lot of times get passed down from one generation to another generation. And it's not that people don't love their children or want the best for their children, but we're creatures of habit. We tend to repeat what we know.
That woman that you just heard from is Valerie Craig with Tennessee Voices for Victims, and she says she used to work with incarcerated youth. She also told Fox 17 News that we have to be more intentional about treating childhood trauma and finding better solutions for troubled youth. A former Williamson County teacher and principal is now wanted by the TBI. We'll tell you the charges he's facing and what he's accused of.
My water bill is supposed to be $40, not $450.
Just about 5:10 and right now in Operation Crime and Justice, this former Mid-State principal has now been added to the TBI's most wanted list. Detectives say they're searching for 54-year-old Jonathan Ulrich. He is facing multiple charges that include crimes against children, so this is very serious. And according to the TBI, while out on bond, following his December of 2022 indictment, he cut off his ankle monitor and then took off running. So this morning, anyone who might have information as to where he could be is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. And by the way, a $2,500 reward is now being offered for any information that does lead to his arrest. We also have an update this morning on the leaking of the Covenant shooter's writings. A Metro judge has rejected a request by the Tennessee Star. And if you're not familiar with the Tennessee Star, it's an online news site. And they're asking to cancel a hearing set for Monday regarding the latest leak. Well, Chancellor Aisha Miles is now asking the Star to show why the Tennessee Star should not be held in contempt. An attorney for the Star says Tennessee has a, quote, shield law that keeps courts from pressuring news outlets to reveal their sources. The Tennessee Star says they're going to appeal Judge Miles' order. The Star is among the groups who filed suit to force Metro Police to make the shooter's journals public. If you would like to catch up on all of our previous reporting for months on the Covenant shooting story, go to our website, fox17.com, and search Covenant. A Laverne family tells Fox 17 News they are battling the city after being overcharged for water every month. Get this, for more than 2 years. That's a long time. The total adds up to, they claim, several $1000s. And now we're getting some more answers for them, trying to help out this family. Robert Starnes is the father that we're talking about. He says the numbers on his water meter and the costs just do not match up with the city's records. Starnes says he's notified the city, complaining about the costly discrepancy for months on end, but he says he never got anywhere. Well, we reached out to the city of Laverne, getting some answers for this family, and they did admit, yes, there was a system error on the Starnes' account. And this is what the family had to say.
The water bill is so high. I'm fighting water bill, light bill, car note, mortgage. This here is my bill from February. This is my bill from March. And as you can see, the consumption of water, they have me at 37,600 gallons of water usage this month.
Yeah, bills are high. A lot of folks are just trying to make ends meet. Well, the city says they're moving forward now, and they're trying to come to an agreement as to how the Starnes family is going to be reimbursed for all those costs. Right now, though, let's check in with our Code Red meteorologist. It's a hot day, another hot day.
Got it right there on your screen, Erica. Yep, the next weather maker coming in is just continued heat, laboring continued heat. How long we can expect that coming up in your forecast?
And of course, Fox 17 News taking a closer look at all your steer clear traffic updates, taking you out near the airport. It's still looking good. We'll have some more updates. Welcome back. Right now we have continuing coverage on former President Donald Trump's felony convictions over in New York. As Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell shows us, some GOP lawmakers continuing to discuss their concerns about this case.
Mr. Trump, how are you feeling about today?
It's a case House Republicans say never should have happened. Their response? A House hearing examining the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which they and their witnesses argue did not have the authority to bring a case of election interference to be heard in a state court. The FEC had looked into and later dropped the case.
District Attorney Alvin Bragg's decision to pursue charges against former President Trump for alleged violations of federal campaign finance laws marks a significant deviation from this established legal framework.
Despite the former president being found guilty by a jury on all 34 charges against him, Attorney Elizabeth Price Foley argued he was denied due process because he did not receive timely notice of the alleged crime he intended to commit, comparing his prosecution to Russian nesting dolls.
What is that other crime that Mr. Trump intended to commit?
Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan saying the case's, quote, star witness was a proven liar.
Michael Cohen's lied to Congress, he's lied to the FBI, and he's lied to court. It's not often you can lie to all three branches of government and yet become the star witness in a prosecution of a former president.
Still, most of Michael Cohen's statements were backed up with documents and other witness testimony the selected jury members agreed to by both parties.
They decided 34 times that Donald Trump falsified documents to cover up his 2016 criminal election interference scheme.
Democrats insisting the misdemeanor charges were right to be upgraded to felonies because they violated state and federal campaign finance laws.
Donald Trump was making hush money payments to a porn star to hide their affair from voters.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, along with prosecutor Matthew Coangelo, will also testify before the committee in just about a month after Donald Trump receives his sentence. Bragg says they will appear voluntarily and that he's looking forward to setting the record straight. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
Christine, thank you. In international news, airstrikes along the Israel-Lebanon border continuing. At the same time, tensions between the Israeli government and Hezbollah are growing. Fire igniting Thursday over in northern Israel. It's another day of crossfire between Hezbollah and Israel, which really has become a daily occurrence since the Israel-Hamas war began. This also comes after a Hezbollah senior military commander was killed by an Israeli airstrike. Back here at home in South Florida, take a look at this. These men in Florida, they don't seem overly concerned about the state of emergency that is currently in effect in Broward County, so that's like Fort Lauderdale, because of all the excessive flooding. In fact, Greg, you can see them out in this video as folks are driving by. They're in a boat, they're paddling, they're trying to fish.
There are a lot of things that are wrong with this, because look at the cars that are up to the top of the wheels that are driving through all of it. the whole thing's just not right.
Having lived in South Florida, unfortunately, I've seen this.
Unfortunately, yes.
Before, it's not a good idea. You just got to wonder what folks are thinking.
Or are they thinking?
Driving in this is never a good idea.
No, because if it gets above the tires, your car starts to float.
So how much longer is the rain going to continue falling in this area?
They're not seeing a ton right now.
Yeah.
I just pulled the radar up a few moments ago. There's nothing on it right now, but they put an additional about 3 inches of rain down yesterday, but they had 12 inches the day before.
Okay.
So we're kind of on the tail end of additional rain moving in, but still, the water has nowhere to go. So this is a really kind of like a painting here, all kinds of colors going on. Basically, everything in yellow was about 4 inches of rain that fell in the last 24 hours. In the areas in green, about 2 inches. So the whole southern half of the state saw another round of heavy rainfall, and thankfully they're kind of on the tail end of this, which is really good, but it's going to take a little time. I mean, obviously when you've got feet of water that has nowhere to go, it'll eventually find somewhere, but it just takes a little while. Taking a look here, teeing off this morning, I'm going to tell you, every day is going to be dry for the next 10, but you don't want to have afternoon tee times. Make everyone as early as you can. Get there right when the sun's coming up, and then by the time you're done, maybe you shoot a quick 18. You'll still be in the 80s already, but if you're trying for an afternoon or an evening, it's not going to be comfortable, especially if you're walking the course. 90 degrees at noon, 93 degrees at 3 p.m. So just keep all of those things in mind. We have no wind, so an air quality alert is in effect again today. And that also means that if you're trying to mow the lawn today, even if you have a riding mower, push mower especially, I would just not do it anywhere near the afternoon. 11 o'clock until 5 p.m. I would make that a no-go when it comes to any outdoor activity that you don't have to. Now, a lot of us work outside. Just like yesterday, just hopefully you can get more breaks, hopefully you can get more water, and hopefully you can find some shade, because we're not going to get it naturally. Not much cloud cover out there. If you do get home and you want to, deal with the outside for just a little bit, it is a really nice grilling night if you can handle temperatures that are in the upper 80s to right near 90 degrees all the way through 7 o'clock. That's where we're going to be. Our high will be 95 right in the middle of the afternoon. Now, you're going to be cooking over a flame, so keep that in mind. But if you're a griller, it's nothing you're not used to. Coming up in the forecast in a few minutes, we'll look at Bonnaroo day 2 today. We'll take a look at how that stacks up compared to yesterday, and we'll work you into Father's Day as well.
Clear, clear traffic out there for you this morning at I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. This is coming in from Antioch. Right now, we're doing okay on that particular drive. We're looking very smooth out there as they continue their construction and work happening over here to the side. If it wasn't for the banner, you can see all the dirt and things that continue to kick up as they continue to work on brand new types of projects happening over there. The Tanger Outlets, of course, now been open for several months. Here's the drive coming in from the east side. I-40 at Fessler's, just east of downtown, looking really nice as well. No major accidents to tell you about here so far this morning. We'll continue to watch the roads, though.
Justin, thank you. Well, it's Friday, so happening this weekend is the 4th annual Bridge to Broadway Juneteenth Block Party. Maybe you're trying to plan ahead for what you're going to do on Father's Day. Well, this could be part of your plans. It's part of the National Museum of African American Music's Black Music Month celebration. Our very own Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey giving us a live look over there on Lower Broadway. Now, the Bridge to Broadway Block Party, it's going to happen on Sunday, Father's Day, between 5th and 6th Avenues. So this area is going to be packed. But where you're going to be for this particular party is right outside of Bridgestone Arena. It kicks off at noon. There's going to be live music and vendors from the Nashville Black Market, and it's going to run until 8 o'clock that evening. The event, though, is free, and it's also open to everyone. If you want to read more about this event and plan ahead, go to fox17.com. New this Friday morning, citizens and former city employees in Gallatin are speaking out after a city council member resigns because of allegations of being bullied. We're also gearing up for extremely hot temperatures. Look at this beautiful sunrise shot.
5:24 is the time. Several weeks ago, former Gallatin City Council member and local real estate agent Eileen George resigned from the Gallatin City Council. She says that she had to resign because of being bullied by another council member and by citizens online. Now, some of the people who know the former council member came to her defense earlier this week. This includes the city's former IT director, who talked about not only Councilwoman George, but also about the culture within the city as a whole.
You're facing a troubling situation where a small but vocal group is disrupting the harmony and progress of our community. Their tactics of bullying, harassment, and spreading misinformation are not only harmful, but also counterproductive to building a better city and county for everyone. This small group claims to act in the best interest of all citizens, yet their actions speak otherwise. They promote division and negativity, targeting those who do not align with their views, including you dedicated council members and the mayor.
Now, Councilmember George was up for re-election coming up in November. The city says they will need to fill her seat with someone before then. Well, listen to this. Heat-related hospital visits are hitting a record high in parts of the United States back in 2023. A report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention shows that the majority of the ER visits were for heat-related illnesses like stroke and sunburn that occurred from May through September. Now, last year, all areas across the country saw at least one day where heat-related ER visits were at an extreme level. Last July and August saw almost 50% higher rates of ER visits compared to the average peak rate from 2018 to 2022.
Gearing up for another hot one. Temperatures on the right side of your screen are about 10 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday. We're talking upper 60s to right near 70 degrees. We are 3 minutes away from sunrise. You can see it getting real close to the horizon here. And we're going to have sunshine almost the entire day. You see a few clouds out there. That's basically all we're going to have for the next 4 or 5 days at least. Just a few clouds, mainly sunshine. Pollen forecast. We've been talking about this all week long, that things have pretty much stabilized where they're at. And grass being our main pollen that's out there right now as far as allergens are concerned. Low to medium category, so it's not too terrible, but it always depends what allergies you have. So if you're a grass pollen sufferer, this is the first time in quite some time we've actually to deal with that. Bonnaroo. Oof, if you know folks that are out there right now, it's not comfortable. 92 later today in Manchester, 94 on Saturday, and 95 on Sunday. Temperatures even hotter when you get closer to the Nashville area. We're talking about a high today of 95. How do you keep track of the hour-by-hour temperatures? You just get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You can type in Code Red in the App Store or scan that QR code.
Well, coming up, we've got the very latest from Steer Clear Traffic as they have turned the camera to the exit at the airport. We're going to give you some updates. Plus, many people are still
room for a big old helper with a cherry on top. Come on, it's Saturday.
Alerts, empowers, protects. Watch Fox 17 News at 9.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Police are still searching for the 3 suspects involved in Wednesday's fatal shooting. Coming up, I'll have the details.
And we're working through another hot day. The sun is officially up here for us, and that's going to warm us up even more quickly than yesterday. We'll take a look at that hour-by-hour forecast in about 2 minutes.
Steer Clear Traffic takes us to I-40 at Dallas and Pike out near the airport. We're doing fine out there. We'll take you to some other areas of town coming up soon.
All right, thank you so much for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this Friday morning. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. We're going to get started with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bobus. You're joining us up here. The air quality effects or alert is still in effect. And then you said we're in day 2 of really an extended heat wave.
Oh, absolutely extended. I mean, at least the next 7 days, but I see even more into the future that this could continue, unfortunately. When you see me this early in the morning and we're together, that usually means it's probably not going to be the most comfortable of days for some reason.
Yeah, we want to make sure that folks are in the know because so many visitors in the area, you want to make sure that you prepare, especially for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not used to 90s after 90s after 90s, this is going to catch you off guard. If you've been living in the mid-state for a while, you know we get these stretches and we have to hunker down and just take the precautions day to day to make sure we can get through it. The weather story is that heat is in control. There is nothing else in the forecast moving in that can bump the heat out of here. We've dropped the rain chances here. Will there even be a raindrop in the next 7 days is really a big question now, and we're still near a record for Sunday, for Father's Day. We do have Bonnaroo. We do have people that this time of the year come into town. You might have friends that are coming here for the weekend. Let them know what they're getting into before they get here. An air quality alert again, just like yesterday, for the exact same areas, the more densely populated portion of Middle Tennessee, right in the heart of it. This means respiratory issues could be a problem again later today. Keep it in mind. If you knew we had it yesterday and it was kind of a tough day for you, today could be tough as well. The sun is up, still a little bit of a haze like we had yesterday morning. That air quality alert all the way through midnight. Overnight tonight. So we added one yesterday. We're now up to 4 days of hitting 90 degrees. Get ready to make that number climb pretty quickly here by the end of the month. We hit 94 yesterday. We're going for 95 later on this afternoon. Your 7-day forecast puts us to 92 tomorrow, 99 degrees on Sunday, 96 on Monday. Maybe a shower, but honestly, don't bank on rain at any point in the next 7 days. Monday through Thursday, middle 90s. I'll give you my first thoughts on next weekend, and they're not necessarily things you might want to hear. That's coming your way in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic at 5:32, going on 5:33. Quick look outside takes us out to Manchester. This is the main exit used out there for Bonneville, right off of I-24 there in Coffee County. As you can see, traffic is wide open there. It doesn't always look like this. Sometimes it can have quite a bit of traffic issues out there. Not this year, though. Looks like we did really nice getting those 60,000 plus people out there to Bonneville. So here are your drive times this morning. Mount Juliet at 26 minutes, Murfreesboro at 52 minutes on that drive, 27 minutes in from the south side of Franklin. We're going to check in on other areas of town coming up soon.
Justin, thank you. Now to Operation Crime and Justice, because a former Metro Nashville police officer is now facing felony charges after allegedly appearing in an adult video on a website that's called OnlyFans. And police say this did happen while he was on duty. Here's a photo of the Metro police officer who was arrested. We're talking about 33-year-old Sean Herman of Sumner County. Well, police say their investigation showed that this man participated in a mock traffic stop and then inappropriately touched a woman who was behind the wheel driving. Investigations show the video was made back on April 26, and that's when Herman was on duty with the Madison precinct. Herman worked at the department for 3 years. Metro Police are asking for your help trying to track down 3 suspects who may be connected to a fatal Madison Park shooting. It happened on Wednesday. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live from this park over in Madison with a closer look.
Good morning, Erica. I just spoke to a couple of neighbors who tell me that one of their friends heard the gunshots, and they say that shootings happen here pretty often. And they also tell me that they are sick of the rise of teen crime right here in Nashville, and they want it to stop. You might remember that we reported on 13-year-old Aiden Hayes being shot and killed at Caboose Park in Bellevue. And now another family is laying their loved one to rest. Police say 16-year-old Justin Robinson was shot right here, somewhere behind me at Madison Park, and then later died. They say he died similarly to how Hayes died, over an argument between teens. Police are still searching for these 3 teen suspects you see on your screen involved in Robinson's shooting. Police say the argument was between the victim, his friend, and the 3 other teenagers. They say the victim was shot in the back before he was taken to the hospital and then died. Police say they believe the 3 suspects live in the area and want them for questioning. They're asking if anyone has any information to please contact police. Reporting live here in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Former Titans players giving golfing a try, all for a great cause. We're going to have the golf scramble highlights from the Hermitage Golf Course. And Fox 17 News showing you a live look of the Friday sunrise out. 5:38 is the time, and right now Fox 17 News taking a live look at our website. Okay, if you have not seen this story about a $15 million penthouse that is currently under contract, do you have an extra $15 million laying around? It's over at the Four Seasons Hotel over on Lower Broadway. So we're sharing some more updates and showing you some of the photos of this luxurious penthouse. It's not clear right now who is purchasing this particular penthouse. They're not sharing their name. They're staying incognito, but we are just sharing the update there. It's under contract. If you want to read more about the Four Seasons penthouse and the $15 million that it's costing someone, go ahead and head to our website, fox17.com. Is it you, Greg Bovis? Did you buy this $15 million penthouse?
I can afford something that was just on that webpage right there.
Oh.
The Dr. Pepper that was on the side.
Same.
That's pretty much all I got going on here. I am very curious to see who's going to be up there. Maybe we'll find out. Taking a look here. Here is the downtown skyline. We've got some haze that's out there. We have got an air quality alert in effect again throughout the entire day, all the way through midnight. That means the same deal as yesterday. If you've got respiratory problems, this could be a day that could be tough for you, right? Especially in the peak heating of the day between noon and 5 p.m. Still all eyes on the airport right now because there are a few delays that are out there, despite the fact that our weather is perfect. Airport weather at at 9 o'clock is 78 degrees, noon 90, and then 3 p.m. 93. What's it look like right now? 69 degrees, not much of a breeze, but there are still about a dozen delays that are out there, and there are 3 cancellations. All of those cancellations are to airports in Florida where they've had the flooding the last 3 days. If you're flying to Florida, even though the rain has died down for a bit, please watch your flight very carefully. As far as us here back home, this is not a day you want to be outside to eat lunch. Now, it'll look pretty out the window, that's for sure. Tons of sunshine, but look at how hot we're going to be, even quicker than yesterday. 87 degrees at 11:90 at noon. Already 90 degrees as we're moving our way toward the noon hour, and then 93 degrees at 1 p.m. Today's high will be 95.
95. All right, go ahead and get my fan ready. Several NFL stars getting together for a great round of golf for a fantastic cause over at the Hermitage Golf Course. And I was able to get out there and enjoy. I stayed up late to catch up with the Tennessee Titans players for the 15th annual NFL Alumni Charity Golf Classic. It was over at the Hermitage Golf Course. They had the sheeps out there. Everyone had a fantastic time. But here's the key. They were also able to raise money for the American Cancer Society and United Way. Just an absolute fantastic golfing event. And we're going to have some more details from our Fox 17 News Sports Director Jill Jelnick on this event coming up this weekend, too.
Sounds like a lot of fun if you can remain cool, that is. This is I-65 and I-24 looking really nice right now from the north side. We'll continue.
We have some breaking news when it comes to international headlines. This morning, Russian President Vladimir Putin is promising a ceasefire with Ukraine if Kyiv withdraws its troops from occupied regions and also renounces plans to join NATO. Russian sources now saying that Putin is frustrated about what he calls, quote, Western-backed attempts to hinder ceasefire efforts and operations. Sources say freezing the conflict along the current lines is a non-negotiable because it would leave Russia in possession of substantial chunks of 4 Ukrainian regions. We'll continue sharing more breaking news updates regarding these major international headlines throughout this morning. Back here at home, there is an interesting study from Harvard University that speculates UFOs may be spaceships visiting alien friends on Earth who are disguised as humans trying to fit in. I'm going to try to keep a straight face and share this story, but the study examines 4 different alien theories, including, this is a mouthful, technology advanced ancient human civilization, advanced non-humans ETs from the future, and then magical crypto creatures. All right, the study says aliens could either live among us, or they could be, I don't know, underground or on a base inside the moon. The study about concealed aliens has not yet been peer reviewed. All right, do you know how hard it was, Greg, to read that story with a straight face? The aliens are, according to this study, right here. They could be somewhere in this studio, and I don't know. Is it us?
Is it me? Hey, you know, we all have our beliefs, we all have our things we look at, whether it's facts that we think are facts, facts that aren't facts. I'm curious to see what the peer review do.
You know, here's a fact. If the aliens are here today, they're going to be hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless they're coming from a hot planet, in which case then they're always cold and now it's comfortable. There's always ways to look at it. Erica, we talked about this yesterday. Obviously, the AC is on today, but I've actually put a graphic together of what I meant yesterday when it comes to how your air conditioner functions. I'm going to actually tweet this out to you in a few minutes. What the air conditioner does, it removes heat from the air. It doesn't actually make things colder. What it does is it pulls the heat away. The condenser does that. It's not designed for temperatures at or above 100 degrees. It's sized for average high temperatures. Think 80s and even 90s for us this time of the year, but it's only designed to cool by 20 degrees. So say it's 100 degrees outside, you're lucky if it gets you down to 75 in your house. So if you have it set to lower than that and it's cranking and it's doing its job and it's not hitting it on Sunday when we're up near 100, it's not broken, it's just doing the best that it can. So that's just one thing to keep note of here. And it also takes a while, if you've had it off for a while, for it to really get the process going and start to cool the air in your home. We're trying our best to find some rain. That little bar right there and that little guy right there, very small chance anyone gets more than maybe a drop of rain. So if you've got a garden, I've seen some beautiful flowers out there lately as well. Make sure we're watering them ourselves. Do it early or do it right before sunset, but don't do it during these peak heating hours. Look at noon, 90 degrees, 93 at 3 p.m. Sunshine beating down on us, one to water. I've added more red boxes from yesterday. Every red box we're not watering. We're doing it very early in the morning or do it after 7 p.m. before the sun sets at 8. Those are the best times to help your plants out. Maybe water twice. Wake up, head to work, do it after dinner time, and then that'll help you out and hopefully help keep them through what is now a prolonged heat wave. We're on day 2 in the next 7 days, easily at or above 90. 94 later on this afternoon, 92 tomorrow, 99 degrees on Sunday. The record's 100, been talking about it all week. We're going to be 1 degree shy, but there's a small chance we could hit it and tie a record from back in 1952.
Steer clear traffic at 548. Let's take a quick look outside here on the north side. This is going to be I-65 and I-24 there on that north side of town. As you're making that drive in, you're looking really nice out there so far this morning. No major clog-ups, hold-ups, accidents, stalled cars, anything. We're on the green right now from Hendersonville in 26 minutes, 52 minutes in from Murfreesboro, 27 minutes in from Kingston Springs. You cannot beat these drive times right now. All of these times are expected to rise, though, throughout the morning.
Justin, thank you. Hey, take a look at this. A driver of an 18-wheeler, oh my gosh, is truly lucky to be alive. Crews say he jumped out of the way seconds, before a train crashed into his truck, and it sent debris flying everywhere. Look at this. Stop what you're doing. Oh my. Okay, so this happened in a Georgia city that's truly just south of Chattanooga to give you a better perspective of the area. Police say that the truck stalled out on the train tracks just as a train was approaching, and somehow, some way, no one was hurt in that crash. In your community, there is a local nonprofit opening a new center to help address Nashville's growing housing crisis. They're called Dream Streets, and they have now opened 48 apartments for folks who don't have homes so that they have a place to stay while they wait for more permanent housing. The nonprofit says, yeah, it's not a house, but it's safe and it's a drug-free environment. They call it Oasis and say they also provide wraparound services like groceries, a social worker, and mental health counseling.
Housing is not a problem, it's a crisis, and we work with a lot of families that we call pre-homeless. They're individuals who have jobs, they have families, a lot of them are caregivers for other people, and they're caught in a vastly growing city with nowhere to go.
Dream Streets is a great organization. They do so much in the community. They just opened, but all the units are already filled, and there is a wait list for future openings. Also in your community and happening this weekend, it's the 4th annual Bridge to Broadway Juneteenth Block Party. It's all part of the National Museum of African American Music's Black Music Month celebration. So on your screen, our Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey is live in the area where all the action is happening. The Bridge to Broadway Block Party is going to be on Sunday on Broadway right here between 5th and 6th Avenues. If you're visiting us, this is right in front of Bridgestone Arena. It kicks off at noon. It's going to have some live music and vendors from the Nashville Black Market. So it kicks off at noon. It's going to end at 8 p.m. Plenty of time to get out there and enjoy. It's going to be hot, though. It's free and open to everyone. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is issuing a warning this Friday. More details on a new flu strain. Drivers beware, thieves are... Welcome back. Authorities and electric vehicle companies say copper thieves are targeting EV charging cables, not just here in Middle Tennessee, but across the country. The trend, though, is another obstacle for automakers who are also trying to convert Americans to electric vehicles. The price of copper wiring on global markets is near an all-time high, luring thieves to go ahead and target these charging stations. The stolen cables can potentially, though, shut down entire charging stations, causing so many headaches for electric vehicle owners who will then be stuck wherever they are, unable to charge their vehicle. Apple is now the most valuable public company in the country. It took the top spot yesterday after talks of its new artificial intelligence features for iPhone. Well, it sent the stocks soaring. Apple's market cap closed at $3.29 trillion with a T, edging parts of Microsoft's $3.28 trillion point as well. Apple shares also increased more than 0.5%. It's up 8.8% for the week. Well, this is extremely rare. Check it out. A white buffalo calf has been born over in the Yellowstone National Park. The birth of the white buffalo is sacred in Native American culture, specifically for the Lakota people. The calf's existence fulfills a prophecy that better times are near. And that's a prophecy that I am happy to accept. Let's check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bobis, talking about the heat wave that he says is in effect for a couple of days.
Oh, absolutely, all the way through the weekend and beyond. So we have our dogs of the day here, Charlotte and Kensington. Proud owners are Meredith and Ted from Spring Hill. Beautiful looking pups there. And this is not a beautiful looking forecast for them, unfortunately. All of our dog friends out there are going to have to get out there early and get out there late for a decent walk. The afternoon going to be even hotter more quickly than it was yesterday. This morning, a little haze out there to start the day. 68 degrees, your temperature already. As we go into our 6 o'clock hour, by 8 o'clock it's 75. And by 9 a.m., we're already close to 80. So dog walking earlier, the better. Let's talk ground temperature. Watch out for those paws. Air temperature at 95. That's right near our high this afternoon. That means that sidewalks, the non-blacktop surfaces, just regular run-of-the-mill concrete sidewalks, 125 degrees during the peak of the day, and that's a consistent temperature. Blacktop, 140 degrees. And I'm not saying don't go walk the dogs and all that stuff, but you can get paw burns after a minute. Just find some grass if you can. You can stay on the pavement. You have shoes on, but make sure that they don't if they don't have shoes on. As far as sending your dog of the day, you can go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobis. You find my little doggo right there, Obi. She will send my photo right to me, right here. Give me your photos, and that's how you get them right here on Fox 17 News this morning. As Eric and I were just talking about, this is not just a 1 or 2 day long stretch of 90s. This could take us well into and out of next week. My thoughts on that coming up in the 6 o'clock half hour in just a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic at 5:57. A quick look here on the south and east side of town. That's where traffic is starting to gather just a little bit. I-24 at Harding Place. As you see that traffic starting to bunch up there along I-24 as you make your drive in from Antioch, Smyrna, and Laverne back behind it. No big slowdowns there. You can see people are getting by just fine as the sun has just gotten up here across Middle Tennessee. We're going to show you some other areas of town coming up here in our 6 o'clock hour.
In health news, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says at least 2 people in the U.S. have now contracted what they're calling a new dual mutant flu strain. The agency reporting the new viruses are resistant to the main flu antiviral that many hospitals use. Lab tests finding the dual mutant viruses were up to 16 times less vulnerable to the medication. The 2 cases, by the way, were detected in Connecticut and Michigan. If you're looking forward to your summer cruise, the CDC is also sharing some tips on how you can better protect yourself while on board your cruise ship. Health experts say some of the most common illnesses on cruise ships include colds and flus and gastrointestinal infections. You don't want that. The agency warns that cruise ships could also stop at local ports that can expose folks to diseases like Zika or malaria. Switching gears to entertainment, one of the country's most iconic rock bands is headed to Las Vegas for a residency in the fall. Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, the Eagles, will hit the stage at the Sphere. That's a fantastic venue, 8 times in September and October. Pre-sale tickets are going to be available beginning on June 18th, so next week. General sales begin on June 21st. A hotel and ticket bundle and several VIP packages, if you can afford it, is also going to be available. My big question is, so they're going to be at the Sphere, but when do they get over here to Music City? That would be fantastic. Taking a look over at our website, fox17.com, to see what story is trending. We're taking a tour inside the biggest Buc-ee's in the country. I know a lot of folks have been over to the Buc-ee's in Sevierville near Gatlinburg, and yes, that Buc-ee's is massive. But now there is a new Buc-ee's that is over in Texas that has since reclaimed the title of having the biggest Buc-ee's in the country. 74,000 square feet. It's more than 74,000 square feet. So if you're planning on traveling to Texas this summer for your vacation, perhaps you'll check out that location. Stay with us, though. Our 6 o'clock hour of Fox 17 News this Friday morning is starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News this morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning. Waking up here with a forecast that is already hot and already going to be a little on the more humid side this afternoon. We're gearing up for day 2 of a much longer heat streak than many of us might want. How long it could last in your forecast.
Metro police detectives are searching for 3 suspects after a deadly shooting at a Madison Park. Now we have new surveillance photos to share with you. And a former Williamson County teacher and principal is wanted by the TBI. The charges he's facing and what he's accused of. Right now, though, we do want to say thank you for joining us for Fox 17 News this Friday morning. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. Right now, though, Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus, when you're standing beside me, it is serious. And this heat wave is no joke.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with storms. This is all just heat, and more heat, to the point to where it's hard to even find a raindrop in the forecast. Now, you mentioned air quality. That means that if you've got respiratory issues, maybe you've got some little kids or some older friends, neighbors, family members, they're the ones most susceptible to having just a harder time breathing later today. The sun is up and it almost just looks hot already, even though we're only about a half hour into our sunrise. The air quality alert going to continue for us all the way through midnight. As far as the forecast goes, 3 big things to know about just the rest of today and then moving through toward the weekend. A new weather pattern has begun and the heat wave is looking longer than originally anticipated earlier this week. This could take us not only into and out of next week, but also the week after that as well. Little to no rain. I've got 2 chances in the next 10 days. There could be a few raindrops. Most of us stay completely dry. That air quality alert, again, until midnight, many of the same areas that had it yesterday. We're talking Davidson County, Rutherford County, the areas that are a little more populated, where we have just more traffic mornings and afternoons. We're all clear for code red. If we went code red for every day that we were in the 90s, we would be code red for the next 15 days possibly. So we're going to pick the days where it's dangerous heat. Those heat index values that go at or above 100 degrees. The temperatures that are at or above 100 degrees. Those are the days we have to watch out for, because that's when we get into the dangerous category. Now we're just in the play it smart category. Pick your times to be outside, pick the right clothes. You know what to do. This is not the first time we've had 90s in Nashville. Use all the precautions and we should be okay. Just very uncomfortable, unfortunately. We're about 10 degrees cooler, I should say warmer. I wish we were 10 degrees cooler. It was 10 degrees cooler yesterday morning. That makes us 10 degrees warmer than we were at the same time, 6 a.m. of yesterday. Where do we go? 85 by 10 o'clock, 93 by 2, a high of 94, 95 degrees right in the middle of the afternoon.
Steer clear traffic gets us out to I-24 at Haywood Lane there in Antioch. Traffic is moving along just fine. No major tie-ups out there this morning. Off to a great start. Friday has been a little lighter since the summer months began when it comes to traffic, but we do expect a pop coming up here at some point this hour where traffic will start to slow down, not just here, but also on that north side at 65 near Trinity Lane. But right now, we're all in the green no matter where you're coming from across the mid-state. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you.
Justin, thank you. Talking about driving, we now have an update this morning on a crash that caused so many delays over on I-24. Tennessee Highway Patrol says the crash was around 12 a.m. Thursday. A tractor trailer and 5 other vehicles were involved. We're now learning from Smoky Barn News that 1 person is dead and multiple others are recovering from very serious injuries. This was not the only crash, though, on I-24, because a few hours later, a second crash happened, but no one was hurt. This morning, the investigation into both of those crashes is ongoing. In Operation Crime and Justice, a former Mid-State principal right behind me here has been added to the TBI Most Wanted list. Detectives are searching for 54-year-old Jonathan Ulrich. He is facing multiple charges, we understand, for crimes against children. And according to the TBI, while on bond following his December 2022 indictment, he cut off his ankle monitor and ran. Now they say anyone who has information on Ulrich's whereabouts is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. A reward of $2,500 is also being offered for any information that leads to him being tracked down. Continuing Operation Crime and Justice this Friday morning, we are now getting some more updates from Metro Police working to identify 3 people involved in a deadly shooting that happened over in Madison Park. And we brought you this story as breaking news yesterday. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us now with another update, including some new photos that hopefully police say could lead to answers. We are working on getting Karen Aguilar's mic up and running. New this morning, citizens and former city employees in Gallatin speaking out after a city council member resigns because of allegations of being bullied. Justin McFarland has a story. And big decisions from the nation.
6:07 is the time. Several weeks ago, The former Gallatin City Council member and local real estate agent Eileen George resigned from the city council. Now, she says she resigned because of being bullied by another council member and citizens, especially online on social media sites. Now, some of the people who knew the former council member came to her defense earlier this week. That includes a member of the Gallatin Planning Commission who said this about his friend.
But if we fail to preserve the intangible sense of community which makes us unique, then we have gained nothing and we've lost everything. For if you preserve the body but lose the soul, well, I don't know exactly what hell looks like, and I hope I never find out. But for all I know, it may have beautiful scenery and grand vistas as far as the eye can see. However, I have no doubt that it is a miserable place to be because people are estranged from one another by great distances of their own making. Although I'm pretty sure it does offer free, unlimited access to social media there.
City of Gallatin is expected to appoint a replacement for that open council seat coming up in the next few weeks. By the way, Councilwoman George's seat was up for re-election in November, and that race will still go on as scheduled. In health news this morning, the Supreme Court on Thursday rejected a lawsuit challenging the Food and Drug Administration's approach to regulating the abortion pill mifepristone there. Now, that ruling is a significant setback for the anti-abortion movement. It was the first major Supreme Court case on the reproductive rights since the court's conservative majority made a ruling that overturned Roe versus Wade back in 2022. At least 21 Republican-led states, including Tennessee, have implemented strict abortion bans since the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade.
Coming up, the forecast already has sunshine starting off this morning, a little hazy, and air quality alert in effect once again today. And this heat wave is quite literally just getting started. How long it'll last in your Code Red forecast?
And steer clear traffic at I-40 at Fessler's Lane just east of downtown. We're moving along pretty well. No big problems out there in either direction. We do.
6:11 is the time, and we're talking about South Florida, where torrential rain has been drenching South Florida for days. Some of the video right behind us here showing the impacts here. And now, this weekend, more rain is on the way, possibly making matters worse. Reed Bayanyan reports.
We are anticipating some of the flooding will not have much time to recede before the rain starts again.
The mayor of Miami-Dade County warning that the deluge isn't over for South Florida, where the governor already declared a state of emergency amid severe flooding.
It will not take much time to already exacerbate the saturated conditions in the hardest hit areas. Additional rains will lead to more flooding.
Roads turned into canals and neighborhoods underwater after rainfall inundated South Florida for a third day in a row on Thursday. On Friday, another round of rain could bring more flash flooding in some areas, plus another 2 to 4 inches of rain. Since Tuesday morning, various parts of South Florida have seen around a foot of rainfall, with local areas seeing around 2 feet. Even as the tropical moisture fueling the storms slowly starts to shift out of the area, rain is expected to continue over the weekend, although to a lesser extent. Still, given the already saturated ground and lingering high water, even light to moderate showers and thunderstorms could cause additional flooding and prevent floodwaters from receding. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
By the way, we do understand that even heading into the weekend, as I mentioned, the flood watches are going to stay in effect for more than 7 million people across parts of South Florida. Just a nasty situation in that area. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist who says rain is not in our weekend forecast.
No, not at all. It's just heat and more heat. I think back to about 5-6 months ago when we were complaining about how cold it got for a few weeks.
Oh, I never did.
And I just kept saying, wait until we get that first heat wave, and then our tune changes a little bit. We're here. It is here. It is here for a long time. The 7-day forecast that I'll show you in a few minutes has at or above 90 every day easily. Look at all the temperatures throughout the southeast. We're all starting off here in the upper 60s and 70s, and those nighttime temps for us on the right side of your screen, which is basically your nighttime into morning temperature. We're at about at the coolest we get every day around this time. In the morning, Yeah, they're all in the upper 60s, low 70s, and get warmer throughout the rest of this week. What to wear? I'm not telling you. I'm just going to say whatever's going to keep you comfortable in the mid-90s. So we know light, loose clothing, just whatever you can do to beat the heat and cover yourself up the best you can. Hats are always a good suggestion. You know, this is going to be the trend for the next couple of days. We're going to be in the very similar start and end to each day, and that means tons of sunshine. So gearing up to get out the door here, grabbing the keys, hopping inside. Hopefully the AC in your vehicle's working pretty well. Although I know a lot of the times when I had a vehicle, you start the AC, and then by the time you got there, you might have a cool breeze. If that's you, 75 degrees at 8 a.m., one of the better times to be out there. 78 at 9 o'clock. We're talking 95 later on this afternoon. Wash or wait? Completely good. We have no rain in the forecast until potentially Monday, and even that chance, it continues to go down every time I look at new information coming into the Weather Center. So I would not worry about rain this week. I'd just say if you're going to do it the old handheld way, the wax on, wax off yourself, bucket, sponge, hose, maybe you do it closer to sunset, just so we're not out there during the hottest point of the time. And when it comes to cars, I'm just going to use a dog as an example, but don't leave anything that is living, that is not yourself, in the car with the car turned off. And don't leave yourself in the car turned off either, but you know what I mean. Our dogs, our kids, the whole nine. I know it's one of those things that we kind of harp on every year, but I want to remind you how hot it gets in the car very quickly. Today it could be up to 130 degrees in about a half hour. So just, again, one of those things where we're getting all these things back into our mind as we settle into this heat wave. 78 degrees at 9 a.m. does take us to 90 at noon. We warm up that quickly. 93 degrees in your backyard later today. So if you don't have some shade, it might be an uncomfortable day to be outside. Maybe just look through the window instead. You'll feel a little more comfortable. Taking a look, 92 degrees tomorrow, then 99 on Sunday. All signs point to a heat index on Sunday at or above 100 degrees for Father's Day. If we hit 100 on the thermometer, that would end up tying a temperature record set back in 1952, and then we're not done. We'll start off next week in the mid-90s and continue in the mid-90s every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And my first thoughts on Friday are not looking good either. Friday could put us back into the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees again to round out the end of next work week.
Still clear traffic takes us out to I-24 at Bradley Parkway. That is where traffic is moving along really nicely out there in that direction. Watch out for the swarm. You see all the bugs or gnats or something flying in front of the camera lens like that? Get out of here. Ugh. Boy, yeah, the cicadas are mostly gone, but you still got these pesky things all around everywhere out there. So if you can get around some of that, watch out for those out there as well. Watching things on the north side, this is going to be I-65 at Bradley Parkway in the Madison area. You can get by out there. No big problems holding you up until you get around Trinity Lane. That's when the slow up is going to come from that north side, typical for this time of the day.
Justin, thank you so much. Hey, when you get your monthly utility bill, you just assume that is correct. But we are now hearing from one Laverne family that says they are very busy battling the city after being overcharged thousands of dollars for water. Robert Starnes says the numbers on his water meter do not match up with the city's records and the cost. And now he has notified the city, he says, and complained about this costly discrepancy for months. Well, Fox 17 News working for you, so we reached out to the city of Laverne getting some answers. They say yes, there was a system error on the Starnes' account. A city spokesperson says that they tried to make things right by offering the family a $4,000 credit.
By me paying $300 to $400 a month for the last 2.5 years, a credit isn't good enough for me.
He says the credit is not good enough. The city says moving forward, they're going to have to come to some sort of agreement as to how the Starnes family is going to be reimbursed. An update now on the leaking of the Covenant shooter's writings. There is a Metro judge who has rejected a request by the Tennessee Star, which is an online news site, to cancel a hearing set for Monday about the latest link. Chancellor Aisha Miles is asking the Star to show why the Tennessee Star should not be held in contempt. An attorney for the Star says Tennessee has a, quote, shield law that keeps courts from pressuring news outlets to reveal their sources. The Tennessee Star says they will appeal the judge's order. The Star is among the groups who filed suit to force Metro Police to go ahead and make the shooter's journals public. If you'd like to get some more updates, visit fox17.com. Still just trying to recover from the damage, Governor Bill Lee is now requesting a major disaster declaration for counties that were impacted by earlier severe weather that we saw this year. We're going to explain the details on just how many people were impacted and how they could be impacted by this. Just about 6:22. Multiple leaders are joining forces to ask for help following the severe weather that rocked the mid-state back in May. Look at this video. So many homeowners and business owners are still trying to recover, and you can see some of that damage that was still on the ground, still left behind. Folks are still trying to pick up the pieces. The severe weather causing 3 deaths and damage to about 459 homes in Middle Tennessee. 137 of these homes, right here, 137, were either destroyed or suffered major damage. And now Governor Bill Lee and Marsha Blackburn and other lawmakers, they are requesting a major disaster declaration from President Joe Biden. Bill Lee saying, quote, federal disaster assistance will bring much needed economic relief and resources to help communities and fellow Tennesseans recover from the devastation of these storms. Talking about storm damage, we're right now showing you a live look from Miami, South Florida, where heavy rainfall could swamp parts of Florida for yet another day, threatening even more destructive flooding. If you're heading out to this area, do be mindful of that. We know you have your summer vacation, but you're going to want to prepare for what could be another rough weekend in parts of South Florida. So again, just showing you a live look over there in an always busy Miami area. Well, let's talk about the weather, because we were curious how what's happening in Florida could potentially impact folks who are flying to parts of Florida. Here is your getaway weathercast on your screen right now. If you see that number 13, that is the number of flight delays across the country. But we did notice that about 3 flights from folks who were traveling from Florida trying to get back here to Nashville, those flights as of right now are canceled. We'll keep a very close eye on everything regarding your getaway cast and keep you in the know when it comes to flight delays and cancellations throughout this Friday morning. When it comes to your steer clear traffic updates, we do want to take you over to I-65. This is a live look at Bradley Parkway.
Yeah, I-65 at Bradley Parkway as you make that drive in from the Madison area. We're doing fine out there this morning. No major holdups, slow-ups anywhere out there. We're doing okay so far. We know that things can get a little clogged out there a little bit later in the morning, but right now we really are doing just fine as you get out and about there at that particular location there on Bradley Parkway. Let's take a look at some other areas of town. Here we go on I-40 at Fester's Lane. This is just east of downtown Nashville. We're also doing okay out there this morning, even though we're starting to see some slow-ups. So listen, if you're making that drive in from the east side, just know that when you get around Fester's Lane here, things can slow up for a couple of different reasons. People are trying to figure out where they want to go. So this is an area where you'll see a lot of slowdowns. People start to switch lanes because they're going to have to make a pretty big decision coming up here in a couple of miles about which direction they want to go. And some people like to wait to the last minute to get over, and then that causes all kinds of drama and holdups there from that south and east side, or especially from the east side here. This is also after the split. So right here, you're dealing with traffic coming in from Antioch and from Mount Juliet and from Donaldson and from Hermitage all at the same time here. So we're seeing a significant slowdown here. No accident. I'm looking up in front of it. Pay attention. Hey, come on. All right, let's get it moving. We've got a city back behind you here. Needs to get somewhere. So that's part of the slowdown there. Let's take a look at overall drive times here. Clarksville coming in at 61 minutes right now. Murfreesboro, 55 minutes. Mount Juliet at 29 minutes as you make that drive in from that east side. But we know things can and will continue to slow down. All these numbers will go up as the morning goes on. I want to point your attention to something else as well. This is downtown Nashville, of course, taking a live look at Bridgestone Arena. We know that there's the Juneteenth block party that's going to be taking place here coming up on Sunday. So if you're going to be downtown, just know things are going to be busy in this area as they're going to be shutting down some of the streets there to have that block party. As far as what's going on in Bridgestone Arena, things are fairly quiet this time of the year. Tonight there will be a concert. Luis Miguel is in town for a big concert there at Bridgestone Arena. Then the Bridge to Broadway block party taking place there on Sunday. Then next weekend, you got the Nashville Predators with their Craft Brew Festival there at Bridgestone. And then on the 23rd, Alanis Morissette, if you're into that. That's coming to Bridgestone Arena, coming up there next weekend. So heads up on that as things are going to be busy in downtown Nashville as the beer trucks continue to make their deliveries there as more and more people push into town.
Fired and now indicted. What a former Metro police officer is accused of doing on duty that could earn him some jail time. And we're also showing you a live look over at First Horizon Park. We're always looking ahead here, and the Light the Night Walk is going to be in October.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Just about 6:30, an air quality alert is in effect this Friday. Plus, it's day 2 of an extended heat wave. Why staying inside may be the best Father's Day gift.
I-65 at Bronley Parkway there on the north side. We're moving along just fine. We're going to show you where traffic can slow down coming up in a few.
All right, have your sunglasses today. Thank you so much for joining us on a busy Fox 17 News Friday morning. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. All right, I mentioned that Father's Day, the best gift you can give your dad might be staying inside. Our Code Red meteorologist Greg Boba is going to explain why that's the case.
It truly is. And I mean, that's one of those things where, oh, I'm going to go outside if I want to go outside. That's fine. I 100% agree. Do what you want to do, but you're going to be outside. It's going to feel like 100 degrees. So got to have that in mind. Our hottest day of the next 7 days, unfortunately, is on Sunday for Father's Day. We're turning even hotter here toward the weekend. Now, what I'm looking ahead to, this is not a guarantee. I need to preface this, but there's a chance that we could be at or above 90 degrees in Nashville for our daily high temperature for the rest of the month, or at least very close to it. There's a very good chance. Now, little to no rain is ahead of us here for the next week or two as well. Air quality alert is in effect, just like yesterday. Respiratory issues, kids, some of our older friends, family, relatives, next door neighbors, the ones most at risk for being outside. And just don't be too physically exerting when you're outside during those peak afternoon hours. This goes all the way through midnight for the exact same counties we had one yesterday. Sun's already up. 69 degrees current temperature. We're on our way quickly to 80 before we even get to 10 o'clock. We'll be there just after 9 a.m. and then we're up to 90 right around noon. By the time you're grabbing a bite to eat, the temperature's already at 90. That means we're there the entire afternoon. Our high of 95 will be right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll stay in the 90s all the way through 7 p.m. So maybe you want to find a way to beat the heat when you get home from work later today, and it involves maybe a pool or just anything. We're keeping the 90s all the way through 7. Right now, temperatures, we're not the only ones feeling the heat. The entire southeast going to be very hot the next several days. Light layers, light clothing, you know the drill. That's the way to go, and that's how we're going to be for at least the next 7 to 10 days, but possibly prolonged even more than that. 94, 95 this afternoon, 92 tomorrow, near 100 on Father's Day, 96 on Monday. Maybe a shower or two could pop up on Monday. The majority of us have no rain for the next 7 days.
Steer clear traffic this morning at I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. That's where we're seeing a bit of a slow up there as you make that drive in from the places like Madison and Hendersonville and Goodlettsville, Whites Creek and Jolton. We're all looking fine here as you make that drive in. A little bit of slowdown happening here. This is typical for this time of the day, but overall not costing you a significant amount of time, at least not yet. Here are the drive times for you right now. Hendersonville, 29 minutes. Murfreesboro, 57 minutes in from Rutherford County, 51 minutes coming down from the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. So watch out for any slowdowns that can happen there, but it looks like we're pretty good overall. We'll continue to watch things for you with Steer Clear Traffic live through 9.
Justin, thank you. Now we have a Friday update for Operation Crime and Justice. A former Metro Nashville police officer is now facing felony charges after allegedly appearing in an adult video on a website known as OnlyFans. Metro Police arresting this man, 33-year-old Sean Herman, at his Sumner County home. Well, after an investigation, police say Herman participated in a video of a mock traffic stop. And in that video, police say Herman inappropriately touched a woman who was driving. Investigations also show, according to police, that the video was made back on April 26. That's when Herman was on duty with the Madison precinct. He worked at the department for a total of 3 years. Folks in Nashville are now raising some concerns about a rise in teenage crimes, including multiple shootings. We're going to get some updates now from Fox 17 News' Kieran Aguilar with more information on what detectives are now calling for.
We reported on 13-year-old Aiden Hayes being shot and killed at Red Caboose Park in Bellevue. And now another family is having to lay their loved one to rest. Police say 16-year-old Justin Robinson was shot somewhere right here in Madison Park and then later died. They say he died similarly to how Hayes died over an argument between teens. Police are still searching for these 3 teen suspects involved in Robinson's shooting. Police say the argument was between the victim, his friend, and the 3 other teenagers. They say the victim ran, was shot in the back before he was taken to the hospital and then died. Police say they believe the 3 suspects lived in the area and want them for questioning. Police say if you know who the suspects might be, to please contact them. Reporting in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you so much for that update. The Bonnaroo Music Festival we've talked about is underway over in Manchester. Folks are having some fun at the farm. The Tennessee Department of Transportation, though, is partnering with festival organizers to try and cut down on traffic on I-24 now through Sunday. It's a 4-day event. That means they're pausing all lane closures until the end of this festival. Maintenance crews are going to be in place to help throughout the festival area, and you can also be on the lookout for message signs that will be in place to warn guests of the delay times. Be sure to stay in the know, though. You can get more stories just like this delivered right to your inbox every single morning by signing up for our Fox 17 News daily newsletter by heading to the homepage over on fox17.com. Several Titans players and myself, we were getting together yesterday out in the heat for a round of golf. All of this happening for a fantastic cause. So there we are out there with some of the Titans players, including Eddie George and a list of other all-pro NFL legends for the 15th annual NFL Alumni Charity Golf Course. It was over at the Hermitage Golf Course, and it benefits the American Cancer Society and United Way. We're going to have some more updates shared over on fox17.com, and our sports director, Jill Jelnick, is also going to be sharing some updates about this celebrity golf event throughout this weekend. Father's Day is Sunday, okay? And we're going to be hearing from you and how you plan on spending the special day with your loved ones.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with Feeding America for our
6:38 is the time, and just in case you did not know this, Father's Day is this Sunday, okay? And we're wondering, I should say, how you plan on celebrating the dads in your life. So over on our Fox Nashville social media pages, we're asking this question. What are you getting your dad for Father's Day? I want to make sure that Greg's mic is on so he can chime in on this conversation too. The options are cash, gift cards, meal, clothes, but interestingly enough, 57.9% of you all say other.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what other could be.
Anything.
Okay.
It's other. Just not those 3 things.
All right.
I'm in the other category too. I can't say it out loud because the parents watch every morning.
Okay,
they stream us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't say anything because your
can't
dad's
give it away.
listening.
Can't give it away.
Here's the thing, Greg. I always feel kind of sad for dads because it feels like dads get lawn equipment to do more work or grills to cook on Father's Day.
It's true.
And sometimes dads just need a break.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the gift. Just leave them alone for a day.
Yeah. And this weekend, dads just want to sit inside and beat the heat.
Maybe dad has a man cave. Let him be in his man cave when it's 100 degrees outside on Sunday. Taking a look going forward the next 3 days, close to record temperatures. Yesterday's high was 94 degrees. That was not a record breaker. Today, though, we're going for 95, and the record is 97. Tomorrow, not even close to hitting 100, but still well into the middle 90s. And then Sunday, 99. The record set back in 1952 was at 100. Could we hit triple digits? Can't discount it. It's definitely a possibility. What happened the last 3 Father's Days? 87 last year, 89 degrees 2 years ago, and 93 degrees 3 years ago. So they've all been warm and they've all been dry, but they've not been this hot in the forecast. Now, when we talk about the heat and the humidity combination for this Father's Day, it's not a good 1-2 punch. We're going to have a little bit of humidity. When you're in the upper 90s, it means it's going to feel like we're between 100 and 105 degrees. One more note about today. With those middle 90s, we'll see air quality alert is in effect for all of us through about midnight tonight. Now, here's my curious question. Just thinking water, thinking about how to cool down. What U.S. state has the longest freshwater shoreline? So think about it. Freshwater. We're not talking ocean. We're not talking saltwater. The longest freshwater shoreline. Is it Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, or Ohio? I'll have the answer for you coming up in the next check of your Cookeville forecast in about 8 minutes.
Center clear traffic as you get out the door this morning. Takes us over to I-40 at Fessler's Lane. This is just east of downtown. We've been watching the traffic slowly build over here for the last few moments here. No major slowdowns or accidents out there in that direction. We're doing okay. Checking over some of the other areas of town, we also continue to do fine out there, really. No major slow ups or slow downs almost anywhere here. This is downtown Nashville. We're doing okay. That camera is stopped. Let's get you back to 65 at Trinity there on the north side. We're also doing just fine up there from Madison. Coming in from Madison, Goodlettsville, Hendersonville. This is the area, though, that can really clog up later in the morning. We're going to continue to watch it, but right now, for 641, doing pretty good.
Sounds good, Justin. Thank you so much. In your community, there is a local nonprofit that says they need your help in order to save lives. Coordinators at Blood Assurance are in urgent need of blood and also plasma donations. In fact, today, June 14th, is World Blood Donor Day. To be eligible to donate blood or plasma, though, you must be at least 17 years of age. Blood Assurance, if you're not familiar, is a Tennessee-based nonprofit serving hospitals in both Middle Tennessee and also the eastern portions of our state. Well, Fox 17 News, your only local station with traffic and weather updates live from 4 all the way up until 9 when everyone else goes network. 6:45 is the time, and right now Fox 17 News following 2 breaking international stories this Friday morning. Russia's President Vladimir Putin says there can be a ceasefire in Ukraine if Ukraine meets his conditions. In a speech just this morning, Putin said he would order a ceasefire immediately if Ukraine withdraws its troops from the 4 Russian-occupied regions over in Ukraine. Putin also said Ukraine must also renounce their plans to join the NATO military alliance. Now, these comments come as many world leaders are busy gathering in Switzerland for a Ukraine peace summit. We have some more international headlines, though. Iran is taking another step to advance its nuclear program. The United Nations International Atomic Energy Agency says Iran has begun installing new uranium enrichment tools. And this move comes after Iran threatened to take action after the Atomic Energy Agency censored them for not cooperating. The UN did not suggest, though, that Iran planned to go to higher levels of uranium enrichment. From international headlines to New Jersey, where the ocean water is extraordinarily clean, clear, and blue this week. Take a look at the drone video taken from late May over Belmar, and Seaside Heights, showing typically dark blue ocean water. Many say they've never seen the Jersey Shore so beautiful. I've only been there once, so I really can't speak too much to that. But experts say this brilliant turquoise color is because of a combination of colder water temperatures and then a plankton bloom, which enhances those tropical looking blue-green colors. I'm going to tap in now with our Code Red meteorologist who has been to this particular area, I believe.
I'll be there in 7 days in the exact camera shot you just
So
saw
if you go there and you
Yeah.
see this tropical blue water, take some photos.
And then I'll take one photo, and then I'm gonna get in that water, and I'm gonna
Sit
enjoy
back and
myself.
enjoy.
Just enjoy. I mean, water is gonna be needed for everyone here. So that goes to my curious question, Erica. When it comes down to it, I want to know what state has the longest freshwater shoreline. We're not talking ocean water here, so not salt water. Longest freshwater shoreline. Is it Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, or Ohio?
I think you're just trying to trick me, so I'm going to go with B.
And you go with Wisconsin. It is actually Michigan. Because,
Okay, well-
because there's the UP of Michigan that has all the shoreline around it as well.
I only went with B because
Yeah.
you always try to throw us off.
This time I just was going for, think Great Lakes, and there you go.
Just trying to play with us.
A little bit every day. Sometimes I'm just right there, and sometimes a curveball every once in a while is good. Maybe just the body of fresh water you want to get into has a little chlorine later on today, and you're aiming for the pool. 85 degrees at 10 o'clock, 93 at 2 p.m., and 93 at 5 o'clock. A couple of clouds, that's it. Lower on the humidity compared to where it's going to be this weekend, but even a touch of humidity in the 90s. Doesn't feel all that nice. Extra sunscreen today. Keep loading it up, as we know how to do, and then just find ways to find a little shade occasionally, because the UV index is about as high as you can get here this time of the year. We're going to be in the very high category. We're not quite extreme where you get that burn in 10 minutes, but 15 minutes for a sunburn. I mean, that's the amount of time you might spend just walking around the block or, doing a quick chore outside. That's how quickly you could end up with that being the case for you. A little humid, but not bad. Dew points in the 60s right now. Coming up in a few, we're going to look ahead to the rest of this weekend. Bonnaroo is still going on. Day 2 of it. We'll look out to Manchester's forecast. We'll also give you your 7-day forecast as well.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Thursday was spent tackling the mess an EF1 tornado left behind in Martin County, Florida. These trees toppled between Hobe Sound and Jupiter Island. And 161 whales from 7 species were spotted south of Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket during a recent aerial survey. The surprise sighting was 2 orcas, or killer whales, rare in the western Atlantic. Look closely, one has a tuna in its mouth.
Steering clear traffic for you at 649. Quick look here on the South Loop here, just dealing with the leftovers of a stalled vehicle. TDOT leaving the scene here at I-40 at the 2nd Avenue exit there. That white car is going to remain after at one point it was clogging up several other lanes there. They had to stop traffic, pull it over, and now they're leaving it for a tow truck or whatever may come to help it move out of the way the rest of the morning here. So good news there. Here's 24 at Haywood Lane coming in from Antioch. Also looking pretty good this morning. No major crashes out there. The only major thing we had was that stalled vehicle back there on the South Loop that was causing a problem. But again, it is now moved out of the way, so no more drama, at least for now, on the Nashville interstates.
We have an update now to the Memphis family shot on a highway earlier this week. The father is now out of the hospital. 2 of the children are improving, but the other 2 remain in critical condition. Meanwhile, the Good Samaritan who rushed in to help is sharing a message about Memphis. Sierra Jordan has the reason he's being called a hero.
And his son fell on the ground. He was screaming that his son had got shot.
You've likely seen and even heard what happened on I-240 in East Memphis Tuesday. Shots fired at a car with a man and his 4 young children inside. All 5 of them hurt. Marcus Ross and his brother and their young children were nearby.
We started hearing gunshots, like a lot of gunshots started going off. And we had our 2 sons in the back seat.
With no hesitation, Ross says he and his brother immediately got out of their car and saw a man screaming for help.
So we was already running towards him. And my brother had picked up the son, and I tried to put the dad in the car. He was like, hold on, I got some more kids in the car.
And all 4 young children, ages from 2 through 8, and their dad injured in the shooting. This photo shows Ross's brother, Diamond Harper, holding the critically injured 8-year-old with Ross right behind him. Suddenly, Ross's car became an ambulance.
We flying through traffic, I'm blowing the horn, the dad and everybody in the car trying to keep the kids woke because they were losing consciousness. So he yelling, screaming, saying, man, y'all gonna make it. It's gonna be all right, y'all not going nowhere.
Ross says they took the family to Baptist Memorial Hospital, a couple exits up the highway. But he says he doesn't consider himself a hero.
Memphis really came together, from the police to the people that assisted the police to getting the description of the vehicle. Everybody played a big part.
Well, Memphis police say the cause of that shooting does appear to be road rage, but the investigation is ongoing. A brawl broke out over in Italy in their parliament this week that ended with a lawmaker having to be wheeled out in a wheelchair. Well, the fight broke out in Italy's parliament chambers. That's when a lawmaker, right here in this video, tried to hand an Italian flag to another parliament member. It's not going well, though. They were talking about a controversial government bill concerning local autonomies. Then clerks had to step in to stop the lawmaker with the flag. They're fighting. Another parliament member then threw punches at the man holding the flag. He eventually fell. Like I said, he was later taken out of that chamber where all of this is happening in a wheelchair. At 6:52, we do want to take a moment and say thank you for waking up with Fox 17 News. 6:55 is the time, and right now we're taking a live look at your Friday morning sunrise. A beautiful shot showing you the Cumberland River, the AT&T building. Listen, today is going to be another hot one. As we head into the weekend, we're also tracking truly record-breaking heat indexes potentially. So our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bovis, don't worry, he has you covered. He's going to help you plan ahead for your Father's Day. Boeing sales continuing to drop because of safety concerns and also production issues when it comes to their commercial jets. The company reporting only 4 new jets ordered last month compared to 69 back in May of last year. All of the May orders, though, were for the 787 Dreamliners. None were for the troubled 737 MAX. The 737 MAX, that's the jet that had a door plug blow out back in January on the Alaskan Airlines flight that we have covered in the past. That prompted numerous federal investigations. Let's talk about weather patterns. El Nino has officially come to an end, but forecasters are now focusing on the next big weather pattern, La Nina. Climate experts say right now we're in a so-called neutral phase between the two weather events, but La Nina is expected to go ahead and build throughout this summer and is likely to be fully developed by September during the peak of hurricane season. And that means it could also spell out for an intense hurricane season. That's because El Nino won't be around, or El Nino, I should say, won't be around to curve storms away from the U.S. When it comes to weather patterns and La Nina, El Nino, that's all you, Greg.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, what you just said is exactly right. That the weather pattern is going to change. That means that the tropics get more active. Just to make it that simple, there are two patterns that are there. One makes the tropics not get a lot of activity. One lets it be a little more dynamic. We're going into the one we don't want. So that's just how we're going to have to watch very carefully in the coming months. Oh, watch your screen right now. One of our dogs of the day. Charlotte in Kensington, sent in by Meredith and Ted from Spring Hill. And this is a very hot day, once again, just like yesterday. So Meredith, Ted, dog walking, especially the little pups that are out there. Make sure we're doing it as early as we can, as late as we can. If you're a dog owner, you know how this rolls. This is how we are when it comes to temperatures that are in the 90s. Got to find those little opportune moments to get out there and try to limit that time right in the middle of the day. 85 degrees already by 10 o'clock this morning. The sun is up. It is relentless. It just looks hot outside right now, even though it's not even 7 o'clock this morning. Temps will begin to climb pretty quickly. Where else it's going to be hot? Well, Bonnaroo, Manchester, 92 degrees today, 94 tomorrow, and then 95 degrees on Sunday. The 7-day forecast putting together a unfortunately impressive stretch of 90-degree days. We'll go for 99 degrees on Sunday in the Nashville area, 96 on Monday, and then middle 90s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It just says more heat, still hot, maybe a shower. The streak continues on Tuesday, no relief on Wednesday, and hot again on Thursday. Coming up in the 7 o'clock half hour, I'm going to give you my first thoughts on how long this is going to last into the following week after the 7-day forecast.
Greg, you're so funny. It's hot, it's hotter, it's still hot, it continues.
There it is.
Let's check in for your steer clear traffic update and take you east of downtown. How about this? Live look, I-40 over at Spence Lane. I'm noticing that there's just not a lot of traffic this Friday morning. That's surprising to see. We're not seeing any issues east of downtown. We are giving you the green light for this area, but we're going to have so many more steer clear traffic updates throughout 9 o'clock, so stay with us. Well, Father's Day is on Sunday, and your dad may have been the first to show you how to swing a hammer or use other tools. But according to new information by Realtor.com, many Americans are continuing to go ahead and lean on their fathers or father figures well into adulthood, especially as kids become homeowners. That's certainly the case for me. 51% of those surveyed say they have gone to their dad for advice on buying a home. I mean, why not? That number jumps to 56% if they live within a 2-hour radius of each other. And when it comes to home maintenance or repairs, nearly 40% say they turn to their dad for that much needed advice. Sea turtle nesting season is underway along the Florida coast, and some of the reptiles need a helping hand in order to get to the water. When members of the Flagler County Sheriff's Office got a call that a turtle was in distress, well, they then came to the rescue. The massive turtle got stuck along the rocks in the sand dunes and then just could not make its way back into the ocean. A deputy and some members of that department there, the rescue crews, they were able to dislodge the turtle from the rocks and carry it back into the ocean. Love that. Stay with us. Our 7 o'clock hour is underway right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
The sun is up and day 2 of a prolonged heat wave is beginning as we speak. We're already warmer than we were at the same time yesterday. How much hotter will be for the weekend coming up in about a minute.
And now on Fox 17 News this Friday morning, this former Mid-State principal is now on the TBI's most wanted list. We're going to explain why.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Spence Lane, just east of downtown. We're looking a lot better than we were a few moments ago here. We're going to tell you about anything else that can pop up and get in your way on this Friday, coming up in just a few.
It looks like a lot less traffic out there. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Friday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Jim Waddell has his day off, but we still have your local news coverage with you now until 9 o'clock this morning, and that includes new information about this heat that we are experiencing.
The heat is relentless, right, Greg?
That it is. And the newest things that we're seeing here that have been coming in over the course of the last couple of hours are that the heat wave that we have settled into yesterday and today, unfortunately, could be a prolonged heat wave. I mean, all of this upcoming 7-day forecast into next week, into the weekend after the one we're heading into. Air quality alerts in effect for us here today, just like yesterday. We'll look at the map in a second, but also little to no rain almost anywhere in the 7-day forecast. So until we can get a change in the weather pattern, we're stuck. Air quality is not great. Sensitive groups, just like yesterday, meaning really little kids, people that have respiratory issues, and then our older neighbors, family members, relatives. Just keep that in mind. Those are the ones who maybe we should just take it a little easy outside like we did yesterday. And here we go. You can even see on our South Nashville camera, a little haze has settled in. Yesterday hit 94 degrees. That puts us to 4 days this year at or above 90. We average 49. We're at 4 right now. I've got 7 more in the 7-day forecast. I'm not going to hide it from you. Just get right to it. The heat is there. We'll be at 94, 95 this afternoon, 92 degrees tomorrow, 99. We're still not moving that number. It's still right there for Father's Day. It's been there for 2 days. And then we've increased the temperatures for Monday through Thursday of next week into the middle 90s. We'll see what influence humidity could have to this. We'll look at the UV index and try to find those coolest hours of the day to get out and kind of do some of our daily activities that need to be done outdoors.
Steer clear traffic at 7:02. Quick look here at the latest crash. We just picked it up a short time ago. This is going to be I-40 at 2nd Avenue there, very close to the Silman Evans Bridge in downtown Nashville. You can see where authorities are now on the scene with a couple of cars there at the bottom of the screen that have crashed into each other, shutting down one lane there on that south loop. So heads up as you make your way. This looks to be outbound. So as you make your way out of downtown, this could slow you up in a big way here. We're going to give you the best ways to steer clear. I believe maybe Murfreesboro Pike can help you here, maybe Elm Hill Pike. We'll continue to watch that. That's the only thing we've got going on right now.
Well, developing this Friday morning, police are busy investigating a shooting that happened around midnight. Take a look at this map. We understand it happened on 921 Woodland Street. So far, we understand one woman was shot and is recovering from her injury. Fox 17 News, though, working to get some more updates, and we'll be sure to share those details as more information does become available.
Operation Crime and Justice, we want to give you an update from the TBI. They are searching for a former Springfield principal, and they're looking for him because of multiple charges, including sexual assault of a child.
A disturbing story here, but this is a photo of Jonathan Ulrich, who is the ex-principal at Longview Elementary School.
Wow.
And we also understand, as you mentioned, wanted by the Murray County Sheriff's Office. So according to the TBI, while out on bond following his December of 2022 indictment, he cut off his ankle monitor and then ran away before his court date.
Now, anyone with information about where he may be, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. There is a reward of $2,500 for any information that could lead to his capture. Let's take you to Mount Juliet this morning in Operation Crime and Justice as well. The Mount Juliet Police Department say at this point that they have been able to arrest several people because of a traffic stop that happened last night on Herschel Drive that led to the discovery of an impaired driver and a wanted person on crack cocaine charges.
Police say when they pulled the car over, a woman ran away from the car but was found hiding in bushes at a nearby hotel. Police say when they searched the car, they found crack cocaine, marijuana, and also drug paraphernalia. They say the man driving the car was found to be driving under the influence and also driving on a revoked license. They also say that the woman was found to be impaired and was also wanted for multiple warrants out of Wilson and Williamson County.
Well, this morning, the Murray County Fire Department is now warning people to please be careful as they clean up after last month's EF3 tornado. They say that a person was seriously hurt yesterday after being pinned against a vehicle by a tree limb. This happened on Highway 99. They say that person was life-flighted to Vanderbilt. Crews are asking people to please wear proper protective equipment during cleanup and be aware that the trees could shift as they are cut.
In Operation Crime and Justice, a Franklin man now indicted on 25 counts related to identity theft and sexual offenses. The Franklin Police Department says Gordon Grigg has promoted himself as a life coach in order to contact victims. So Grigg was arrested Wednesday and being held at the Williamson County Jail on a $1 million bond, a life coach.
Probably a lot to that story. Interested to see what comes out of there coming up in a few weeks. The mother of a Tennessee teen who went missing down in Pensacola is now in custody. The Pensacola, Florida Police Department say that the teen's biological mother, Crystal Hornsby, was arrested on Tuesday in St. Petersburg, Florida, on charges of interference with child custody.
The teen, Abigail Kate Velez, says that she has been found safe and reunited with her adopted mother. We do have some more updates that we're sharing over on fox17.com.
Coming up in just a few moments, I'm going to take you over to Gallatin. That is where citizens and even former city employees are speaking out. This is after a city council member there in Gallatin says that she was forced to resign because of being bullied. We're going to take you there.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering.
7:09 is the time. Several weeks ago, a former Gallatin City Council member and local real estate agent, Eileen George, resigned from City Council there in Gallatin. Now, she resigned because of being bullied by another City Council member and citizens, especially online. Now, we know that the we now know that some of the people there in the city of Gallatin came to her defense during a recent city council meeting. That includes some people who used to work for the city of Gallatin, like James Overton here, who's a former council member.
And ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to be the person and the council person and the leader that you are. If you disagree with one of them, and they might think that you disagree with them, be a man and be a lady to stand up and say, I'm sorry that we disagree, and let it be over with. But don't attack them. Don't attack them personally. Don't send it out to every city employee. Don't send it out to the newspaper and the news medias and call them on the phone. That's not what you're here for. You're here to represent the city of Gallatin.
The city of Gallatin is expected to appoint a replacement for the open seat coming up in a few weeks. Continuing coverage as police say cadaver dogs had to search on Tuesday for a missing baby out of Reynolds Station, Kentucky. That is just to the north of Bowling Green. Police say that the parents and grandfather are now facing child abandonment and drug charges because of the missing child there. They're searching a church cemetery as well as a wooded area behind the home for 8-month-old Maya Rudd. Now, the Kentucky State Police Department say that there were no updates in the search, and they also claim that police plan to bring ground sonar equipment and a forensics examiner in to conduct the search. We're also learning a little bit more about the circumstances that led up to that 8-month-old baby Maya's disappearance. The state police say that Maya's 3 older siblings were removed from the home by a state official before. When Maya was born back in October, she tested positive for drugs and was supposed to be removed from the parents' home as well. However, around May 30th, relatives notified police that they had not seen the baby since late April. Maya's parents, Tesla Tucker and Cage Rudd, as well as her grandfather, Ricky J. Smith, have all been arrested. It is game day for the Tennessee Volunteers. They will begin what they hope will be a World Series run tonight as they take on Florida State. That game is happening in Omaha, Nebraska in the College World Series. Now, Tennessee is set to play in their 3rd World Series in 3 years, or really is their third and fourth year in 4 years there. As for they're going to be playing in their 7th overall in their history. This is a double elimination tournament there for the Volunteers. So even if they lose tonight, they will still get yet another game. So 3 World Series visits in the last 4 years for the Vols.
Coming up next, another stretch of 90-degree heat. We're in day 2 of this. All 7 days spell 90 degrees or above. We'll see how far into the future that's going to go.
Steer clear traffic. We are still dealing with a crash at I-40 at 2nd Avenue near the South Loop there. Police doing a lot of talking over there with TDOT. We're going to tell you the best ways to 7:15 is the time here on this Friday morning, and we want to take you to Madison. That is where Metro Police detectives are working to identify 3 people wanted for questioning in Wednesday's deadly shooting of a teenager at Madison Park.
Well, police are telling Fox 17 News that 16-year-old Justin Robinson was killed in a shooting on North DuPont Avenue. And according to police, Robinson was in the park with another teenager when they got into some kind of argument with at least 2 other young men. Police say after they got into that argument, Robinson and his friend began to walk away, and that's when shots were fired at them. And Robinson, police say, was hit in the back as he was running away.
Police say that they did recover the friend's pistol and that the unknown shooter in this case is believed to have lived in and around the Madison Park area. Now, anyone who recognizes these teens are asked to contact Crime Stoppers. That number is right there on your screen.
If you're just now waking up with Fox 17 News, do keep in mind the air quality alert is in effect.
Yeah, that it is. It's until midnight for almost all of us. So that's any outdoor physical activity, even just your golf game, the backswing. You're going 18 holes here. Maybe you're walking the course. Maybe today's a cart day. Maybe you get out there early. You avoid the afternoon hours. I'm not telling anyone not to go outside. It's not necessarily dangerous, but taking the right precautions will definitely always help us out and let us get from start to finish without having any, huffing and puffing, tough of breathing. Grab the inhaler just in case. And taking a look, tee times this morning. Get out there as soon as you can. I'm going to tell you, every morning in the next 7 days, we have no rain and we have no wind, but we will have quickly rising temperatures. 90 degrees by noon, 93 by 3 p.m. I would say have the turn to the back 9 well before we get to noon, or you're going to be hot for the end of your golf game any day the next 7 days. Now, more physical activity. Again, now this is more the yard work scenario. I'm going to say, you can mow the lawn, don't get me wrong, but just find the right hours for it. I would say today is the best of the next 3 days to do it because the humidity picks up tomorrow into Sunday. The heat has taken over. And yes, if you're out over the grill, cooking some dinner later today, get the extra bottle of water. It's going to be hot all the way through this evening. 93 at 5 o'clock, 92 at 6, and 91 degrees at 7 p.m. Now, this is going to be a forecast of relentless heat, we'll call it. It's not going anywhere. 92 tomorrow, 99 degrees for Father's Day, 99 degrees for Father's Day. And then middle 90s Monday through Thursday of next week. And the next look at the forecast, we'll hone in on Bonnaroo and Father's Day itself compared to some Father's Days past and also some records we could be close to.
Steer clear traffic out there this morning. A couple of things to tell you about. This one's happening at I-40 at the Silman Evans Bridge, close to 2nd Avenue, there on the downtown loop. Police finishing up a scene. There were 2 cars there. I believe they're dealing with just one now there on that south loop. So they could be waiting on a tow truck to get that out of there, causing minor delays as you try to get out of downtown. So heads up in that area. We do have another crash we just picked up at 40 at 24 on the inbound side. No authorities at that crash yet. We'll give you a better look at it coming up in a few.
We have continuing coverage this Friday morning talking about education and standardized test scores when it comes to Tennessee 3rd graders.
Now, numbers show improvement when it comes to reading, but how much improvement really? Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse joins us live this morning at the Capitol after talking with some education officials.
Yeah, good morning, Justin and Erica. So the English Language Arts, or ELA, portion of TCAP, those results are in for the state of Tennessee. And Tennessee is actually seeing improvement overall, which state educators tell us is a really good sign. Now, according to Tennessee's Department of Education, in 2023, the state made historic gains for 3rd grade reading. And this is very important because of the 3rd grade retention law, which requires anyone who fails the test to repeat third grade. And the whole reason this third grade retention law is put in place is to make sure that kids have the foundation and basic building blocks to be a strong reader. Last year, 40% of third graders scored proficient in the ELA, and in 2022, those scores sat at about 35.7%, and that's more than a 4% increase there. And J.C. Bowman, who has decades of teaching experience and now advocates for teachers and students through Professional Educators of Tennessee, says we can take this as a victory.
It does show that the learning camps and the tutoring is having an impact and benefiting kids. The other thing for me, Peyton, the big takeaway is that I think you have to come back and look at, we need to identify these kids earlier with reading difficulties. So we need to find them in kindergarten, first grade, second grade.
And what we'll be telling, Bowman says, is the final numbers of the third graders who will have to, unfortunately, repeat third grade. And we asked the state when those retention numbers will be ready. They say sometime in the fall. But before that, we'll get the TCAP scores sometime at the end of this summer. Reporting live at the Capitol, Peyton Hughes, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
We will have continuing coverage of license plate readers here in the city of Nashville. One community taking action into their own hands to make sure they crack down. People in Bellevue are now turning to cameras to try and keep their neighborhood just a little bit safer these days.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live right now in Bellevue. You've been there all week long talking about neighbors who say they really want to crack down on crime in that area.
That's right. They do say that they really want to crack down on crime in this area, especially after the recent reports that we have shown everybody on that has been watching, our viewers. Now, the question is that people are wondering, how are they going to do that? Well, a group of people here in the Poplar Creek Terrace neighborhood might have the answers, and that answer is license plate readers. They say that they have gotten a license plate reader at the front, side, and back of this neighborhood, and this license plate reader you can see right here, they tell me costs about $2,000 a year, but they say it's worth it. Charlie Tigard, he's one of the people who helped propose the security measure for this neighborhood. Tell me about the first time that you thought this is something we should definitely do.
Well, about 4 or 5 years ago at our adjoining neighborhood just down Highway 100, there was a murder in the Trayside subdivision where an intruder was robbing from the house. The homeowner caught him, chased him, and got shot and died. And that's an unsolved crime. So we, as a neighborhood, started looking what could we do to be more proactive to both prevent crime and also, if something does occur, how to solve that crime.
Absolutely. And what about the recent instances that you've seen that this actually has helped?
Well, we've had a minor vandalism incident that a police report was filed. The police were able to track down the two teenagers that perpetrated the damage, and a solution was resolved. I didn't realize that you can be hacked at your home if you've got an unsecure internet. And we have a case of someone driving through the neighborhood looking for unsecured internet, finding it sitting out front in their laptop and hacking a home. Jeez. We were able to track down the person that was doing this crime.
Right, yeah, so there has been several instances of that, and there's also been a North Nashville neighborhood that has done the same exact thing, people just trying to crack down on crime. And coming up in the next half hour, we'll tell you a little bit more about their efforts of what they're doing to keep this community safe. Reporting live here in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
The heat continues. Next 3 days are in the 90s, near record-breaking temperatures for today. And also on your Father's Day, we'll deep dive into that and how long this lasts as we go into our 7:30 half hour.
Steer clear traffic this morning at 7:26. Here's a quick look at what we're dealing with outside. This is going to be I-40 right near the Silman Evans Bridge there in downtown Nashville. As you leave town, approaching that south loop there, you're going to run into a bit of a backup as police continue to wait on a tow truck, I believe, to get this car out of that particular area. So watch out for that. Other than that, we're dealing with one more crash, and that's also on the east side. This is going to be I-40 at I-24 there, just east of downtown. We got a couple of cars on the shoulder there because of a crash. No authorities there with that one yet, but when they get there, they're going to force all the traffic to move over just a bit.
How much are Nashville police paid? Fox 17 News digging deeper. We're going to have a live interview breaking down the numbers after the break.
And speaking of police officers.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
We hit 94 degrees yesterday, and that is just the beginning of what could be a very long stretch of back-to-back 90-degree days. How long that streak's going to last coming up in your forecast.
Steer clear traffic at I-40 at the Silman Evans Bridge. They're towing the trouble away there on that loop, South Loop that is. We're going to give you the best ways to get around any backup there over the next few minutes.
All right, you heard Greg. He said 94 degrees is just the beginning.
Oh, boy.
Buckle up. Thanks so much for waking up with us here this Friday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Fox 17 News is your only live and local news source with you from now through 9 o'clock with updates like this one. This is a story that's going to get a lot of attention. It's a former Metro police officer. You see him right there on your screen. He is now facing felony charges for official misconduct after the police department say he appeared in a OnlyFans video that is an adult video while on duty. He is Sean Herman. He was fired back in May after that investigation discovered that he appeared in that adult video, and he was even wearing his uniform there, according to authorities in one particular shot. That video was made on the evening of April 26th in the Madison area. This was happening while Herman, of course, again, was on duty for the Metro Police Department out of the Madison precinct. He was employed with that police department for 3 years. We will have much more follow-up on this story in the days and weeks to come.
7:31 is the time, and we do want to show you a live look over in Parkland, Florida. This is where demolition is underway over at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. If you're not familiar with this high school, it is the same school where a gunman killed 17 people on Valentine's Day back in 2018. Students, though, never returned to classes in this building. It's a long time coming because so many folks in this community were asking for this particular portion of the school to be demolished.
Yeah.
So it's a long process. It's going to be happening throughout the summer. They hope to have all this wrapped up, though, as students return back there to this area in the fall.
And again, these are live pictures. You're taking a look. They're just getting started right there fresh at the corner of that building, and will continue on for the next several weeks.
Well, Greg said that 94 yesterday was only the beginning. So, Greg, what you got for us this Friday?
I mean, buckle up, because we're going to go 90 miles an hour, or in this case, 90 degrees per day for quite some time. We have another day that could be 94, 95. You look at downtown, you can even see a little haze there. Air quality alert is in effect for us, just like it was yesterday. Today almost is identical to yesterday once we get toward the afternoon. We are warming up a little more quickly than we did yesterday. We're going to keep it all clear. Now, you might think, well, it's really hot outside, and, we have an air quality alert. Well, when we have possibly 10 more 90-degree days in a row, then the air will just be stuck in alert mode. So I'm going to watch for specific things that make the day dangerous. Is the humidity relentless to where our heat index values, the feels like values, go above 100 degrees? That's a code red day. Does our temperature hit 100 degrees? Code red day, things like that. So this is just going to be the name of the game for quite some time here when it comes to the type of heat we're going to see. Then it just becomes about all the precautions we can take. We're already 8 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday. Current temps are on the right side of your screen. Out the door in the light, loose clothing. Grab the sunscreen, grab the bottle of water, and we'll work through the rest of your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get a look at what we're dealing with there on I-40 near the 2nd Avenue exit on the South Loop. T-Dot about to pull off, we believe, after a tow truck pulled off one car that was involved in the crash a little bit earlier in the morning. This was much worse a few moments ago, but again, that crash is starting to clear there on that south side of town as you make your way out. Until they get both lanes open, though, you can try to use Murfreesboro Road as a good way to steer clear if you're trying to get out of downtown Nashville. Again, that is where the attention is. We were dealing with another crash at 40 at 24. Thankfully, it has cleared.
A nonprofit government watchdog group called OpenTheBooks.com is digging into police response times.
They found that Metro Police payroll has gone up over the recent years, and so has the amount of time it takes to respond to police calls. We're joined this morning by Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com. And Rachel, how much has the police response time increased?
So this comes from a recent report that was prepared for the Metro Community Oversight Board. And they looked at several years, and they found that Metro PD's response rate has been increasing since 2018. And obviously that's a bad thing. That means it's taking them longer to respond to calls. So 2022 is the latest data available. It took Metro on average 74 minutes to respond to calls. And that's almost 30% longer than it took them the year before. So in 2018, a person who called for someone with a weapon, that took about 21 minutes to respond to. But in 2022, it took 38 minutes. Calls for shooting in 2018, that took over 12 minutes to respond to. It took over 31 minutes in 2022. And so this response time, in part, is driven by a caller's waiting time in the queue. So they're waiting for their calls to be answered. And then, of course, Metro PD, both officers and civilian positions, they're not fully staffed. They're trying to recruit. They're trying to bring those numbers up.
Rachel, I'm curious, have you had the opportunity to compare this to other cities across the country?
Yeah. So also, I should note that while Metro PD is understaffed, their payroll has been increasing over the years. So fiscal year 2023, their payroll was $176 million. That's $55 million more than 5 years ago, even though they're looking to hire people. So comparing Nashville's response rate to other cities, this report looked at several other cities. The only city with a higher rate or a longer time was New Orleans at an average of 146 minutes, which, if you can imagine, that's over 2 hours to get a response to your 911 call. So they looked at Portland, New York, Seattle, San Francisco, Virginia Beach, Detroit. They're all far below Nashville in terms of how long it takes to respond. And the final note is that this report says it's unlikely that this response time is due to any one issue. There are various issues, and it suggests that Metro PD and other agencies should research how to address the various concerns that are interacting and influencing each other.
All right, Rachel O'Brien with OpenTheBooks.com. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Boxing for everyone. How one man is on a mission to give everyone the opportunity to break a sweat.
Good morning, welcome back. Time right now is 7:39. We're going to be hot. Let's get you up and out the door here on this June 14th. We're opening the door to a Friday. It's going to be warmer than yesterday by about 10 degrees already. 75 degrees at 8 a.m., 78 at 9, 85 degrees at 10 o'clock. And let's just keep it rolling. You're not going to want to have lunch outside today. Our high temperature is going to soar very quickly into the 90s. 87 degrees at 11 o'clock, 90 at noon, and 93 degrees at 1 p.m. Not a ton of humidity. Very similar day to yesterday. We'll have a high right in the middle of the afternoon of 95. You can get the car wash. I would just say if you're going to have the old soap and bucket going on, do it later closer to sunset. You'll be a little bit more comfortable.
Steer clear traffic out there. One big thing to tell you about, and that's happening from the north side. This is going to be I-65 at Old, excuse my spelling, Hickory. That is Hickory Boulevard. Yes, I see the Y is missing. Old Hickory Boulevard there in the Madison area. We are dealing with a crash nonetheless. One car has overturned in the grass. If you take a close look there on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see that black item there. We believe that is a vehicle that is overturned, and they've shut down 2 lanes to deal with that. We're going to continue to follow things, but we can tell you now to get down from the north side, you want to try to use Dickerson Pike or Gallatin Pike. Those would be your best ways to steer clear if you're coming in from Madison.
Well, after an uptick in crime over in the Bellevue area that we have reported on extensively, people there are now taking matters into their own hands, so to speak.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live for us this morning in Bellevue to tell us what they are doing.
People here at the Poplar Creek neighborhood in Bellevue are, of course, taking matters into their own hands to crack down on crime. They want every person that goes to this neighborhood driving in to see this sign right here behind me, security notice. But that's just not the only thing. What's the security notice for? It's for license plate readers that they have wanted to have installed, and they started about 5 years ago, and they're license plate readers that are in the front, side, and back of this neighborhood. And I'm here with Diane Kilbrew, who is actually right next to a license plate reader, right? Costs about $2,000 a year, but it's worth it, correct?
Oh, exactly. We get about 25,000 cars or vehicles through our neighborhood every month. And so this is actually our busiest entrance, our main entrance to the neighborhood.
And so how does this work exactly for other people that are watching and that may want to do the same thing in their neighborhood?
Well, it makes a photograph of a vehicle, a license plate. It determines the color. We can select the color, the make, the model of the vehicle, and it just provides clues to residents that might have concerns about unusual traffic in their neighborhood, so we can access the information and share that with the neighbor or the resident, and then they, if they feel like they want to pursue it further, can contact the police for more monitoring.
Have you felt safer since these license plate readers have been here?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And actually, it's part of our overall safety system for the neighborhood. Yes, I think neighbors in general feel better having access to technology tools.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. And coming up in the next half hour, you're going to hear from Charlie Tygard, who is one of the neighbors here who helped put all of this together. And he talks about what he believes that the city should be doing to make sure that license plate readers are in other neighborhoods to make them feel safe as well. Reporting live here in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. We're coming up. A class aiming to give.
Right now in your community, a Nashville group is working to make sure adults with special needs get in the game.
Our sports director, Joe Jonick, shines a light on a popular free class that is being offered by Metro Parks for people with disabilities.
1, 2.
Jared Houston has trained some of the best.
1, 2.
From world champion boxers to top heavyweight prospects.
Flow.
He has coached some of the sport's biggest names.
Nice, double.
But his heart
Come on, Tay-Tay.
belongs to his Friday afternoon class.
Everybody ready? Yes. Heads down, please.
Twice a month, adults with special needs gather in the lobby at Title Boxing, eagerly waiting for Jared to start the class.
It was positive. Let's do this, Rachel.
The combinations he takes them through gets their blood pumping, the same as his other classes.
Jab, cross, uppercut.
The cardio?
Come on.
The same as his other classes.
5, 4, 3, burpees, go. Don't you look at me like that, Patricia. Nice work.
And the encouragement.
That's it. Hands up. Hey, you're a superstar. Look at you on camera. Let's go.
Same as his other classes.
Jab, cross, scooped ice cream, hook.
We're all the same. We just learn differently. We just learn at different levels. We might look different. We might act different. We might have different beliefs, but we all feel the same.
I like it a lot. It's more fun. It's more exercise, make you calm down.
It's really good. Taylor Krieg is a regular at the boxing class.
Perfect.
Taylor will tell you that first and foremost, she is a princess, but she has also turned into quite the boxer.
Straight punches, let's go.
Taylor has grown in her confidence, in her ability to think and move faster. She had a little bit of difficulty being fast enough to do things, and it's gotten so much better.
Here we go.
While Jared coaches the class, it is managed
Let's go, Max.
by Metro Parks Disabilities.
Good work.
When the program started 2 years ago, Jared didn't realize at first that participants had to pay just to attend.
Go with it.
And he changed that right away.
It was like the third class when he came to us, and he said, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, oh, shoot. And then he said, I can't charge you all. This is not right.
It puts in perspective why I do what I do. It's a heartbeat that I can feel, because you don't know that you're breathing until you stop breathing, until you panic. My heart stops. I can actually feel my heartbeat when I'm with them. I can feel it.
Nice, Rach, come on.
Metro Parks Disabilities serves roughly 160 people per week.
Hook, scoop the ice cream.
And while there are a handful of classes to choose from,
Nice work, a little bit more, take that foot back.
Jared's class is one of the few that is free.
I hope more people will see what's going on here, and that more people can step up and make it more possible for them to be out there and to live a full life, be inclusive.
When you take this Friday class, what do they take away? What do they walk away with?
Pride. Pride and accomplishment, but a lot of pride.
Good work, Harrison. Great job.
Classes like Jared's also bring a heightened awareness to the disabilities community.
Great work. Thank you, man.
That people with special needs jab the same, sweat the same.
Here we go, Blaine.
And laugh the same.
Ooh. When Andrew comes in, or Taylor comes in, or Blaine hugs me, or Max says thank you, it's always what I need, because they don't care what I've been through throughout the week. They don't care what I've thought. They don't care anything. They just know in that moment, we get to have fun, and whatever exchange it is joy.
Joy that can not only be seen, but also felt. Just like a heartbeat. Jill Jelnick.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too. Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Oh my gosh, I love that story.
Bravo, Jill Jelnick. Bravo. And bravo to everyone else participating in that program, the coaches, all the participants, the people who are making it happen financially. What a great, great thing.
You know, there are so many bad things you can hear about day to day, that when you get to hear something like that on a Friday starting your day, everyone just coming together for the exact same reason, that's what it's all about. I mean, beginning and end of your day, if you can do one good thing, do one good thing today. Take that as your note from there. Taking a look as far as what we're going to show you here, two cute little doggos right now. This is our dog of the daytime, Charlotte and Kensington, sent in by Meredith and Ted from Spring Hill. And if you were walking the dogs yesterday, you know we're in for more of the same today, and it's not always the easiest task to do once it gets very hot outside. Here's a breakdown of our temperatures this morning into the afternoon. It's a really quick warm-up. We're taking it from 75 degrees at 8 a.m. all the way to 85 by 10. We'll be up near 90 degrees at noon, so that means that the afternoon dog walking might have to wait until dinner time or after. And I would also at this point advise you that if you're not cranking up the lawnmower right now, to wait until, again, dinner time or beyond, because highs are going to be well into the middle 90s for us. And the 90-degree temperatures will stay on the thermometer all the way through about 6 or 7 o'clock this evening. Sun sets at 8:05, and your eyes are not deceiving you. Every day in the 7-day forecast continues to spell out 90-degree high temperatures.
Steer clear traffic at 7:52. Quick look outside takes us to the big crash on I-65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is coming down from the Madison area. This crash has got 1 and 2 lanes. 2 lanes shut down right now while police deal with an overturned vehicle. You may be able to see it right there in the grass. You can see some people up and walking there. That grass area right over there, where you can see that black container there. That is the overturned vehicle that authorities are dealing with right now. So shutting down a couple of lanes back behind it. Let me show you what it's doing to the drive times. It's not good. It's 54 minutes coming down from Hendersonville right now. Dickerson Pike or Gallatin Pike, either one will help you steer clear.
A beloved antelope's death causing Tennessee zoologists to go ahead and send a warning. We're going to explain this odd story.
Plus, we're going to take a look
at 7:55. We're getting some more information about an antelope that choked on a squeezable food pouch and died over the weekend. It's trending over on Fox17.com. The antelope's name, Leaf, that's his name. The 7-year-old antelope died Saturday at Bright Zoo. It's located over in Limestone. The family-owned zoo said in a social media post that they're mourning the loss of their beloved animal due to the choking. The zoo also letting us know that he still had such a lot of life to live. Pouch packaging is dangerous to the animals, and pouches are not allowed at the zoo. So that was their message. Do not bring those pouches inside of the zoo area.
Out of all the things that could take the animal down, that's almost unbelievable. All right, turning to something a little brighter, a little happier this morning, and that is several NFL stars getting together for a round of golf. It is all for a great cause, and this lady right here was at the center of it. Take a look right there. Erica, tell the people, where were you and what were you doing?
So we were at the Hermitage Golf Course for the 15th annual NFL Alumni Charity Golf Classic. Can you golf?
No, never played a round of golf in my life.
Well, there were plenty of former Titans players out there participating.
Okay, looks like some of them have interesting form as well. I just saw Eddie George, Eric Dickerson, the Hall of Famer, just saw him there among the people. This was all part of a bunch of different guys who got together all in the name of a great cause here.
Yeah, so they're raising money for United Health. They're also raising money for the American Cancer Society. So they had some amazing prizes, and the prizes were then going towards great causes as well. So it's not just about golf.
Okay.
Which is good, because I can't play golf.
Looks like a great time was had by all, and a lot of money raised as well. So let's go now to something that you're going to need a little bit of a checkbook for. A Nashville high-rise is turning heads with a listing at a whopping $15 million. It's a nearly 4,000 square foot property that has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and also a half bathroom as well. And it's the penthouse there at the Four Seasons, which of course has breathtaking views from just about every room of downtown Nashville.
So $15 million to buy this multi-million-dollar penthouse. It looks pretty impressive.
It does look impressive, but it's still for sale. It was finished a couple of years ago. So I wonder if they've been able to sell it to anyone, or is it just now finished and open to the public? Has anyone ever owned it? That's what I'm curious about. Has anyone ever tried to, well, sure, people have tried to buy it. Has anyone ever successfully bought this, or has it been sitting empty for the last 2 years?
Well, hey, if you want to take a closer look at some of the photos, you can check it out by going to fox17.com. By the way, Father's Day is this Sunday, so mark your calendars. You need to know this. So we're asking this question over on our Fox Nashville X account. What are you planning on getting your dad or father figure for Father's Day? Well, there's a lot of different options up there. Most people who are voting are leaning towards the gift card. 18.8 people, 18.8% rather, leaning towards the gift card there. Taking dad out for a good meal is the other leading candidate there at 14.5%, and then clothing comes in at 8%. The biggest category is the other at 58.8%. Now, other could mean a lot of different things, as people are buying things especially for their father. You know, things that may be tailor-made for them. Tailor-made, I like how you think.
Under some of the categories there. I'm just saying, specifically for dad.
This Father's Day, you may want to get dad a fan.
Well, it's AC. That's what you really want. Dad wants some air conditioner, okay? Because it's going to be 99 degrees on Father's Day. So Greg is going to tell us more about that right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Yeah, Father's Day is Sunday, and Justin just mentioned it, 99 degrees on Sunday for the forecast. The high temperature, and work through that and the rest of a very hot upcoming week as well.
Also ahead on Fox 17 News this Friday morning, this former Mid-State principal is now on the TBI's most wanted list. We're going to explain why that's the case.
As here clear traffic takes us to I-65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is in Madison. That's where we got one car that was overturned in the grass. Looks like they're trying to get it up and out of the way as we speak. It's causing a bit of a backup. We'll take you there.
All right, not a good situation, but thank you so much for waking up with Fox 17 News. It's a Friday morning. You made it to Friday. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Fox 17 News, your only live and local news source, with you from 7 until 9 as Jim Waddell has his day off. Wherever she is, I hope she's remaining cool, because the temperatures are rising out there quickly. Let's get to Greg Bobus. He's standing by to tell us how high we're looking at today.
We're looking at very similar to yesterday, Justin. We're going to be up to 95 degrees today. It was 94 yesterday. That'll put us just 2 degrees away from breaking a record that we tied, or I should say from tying a record that we broke 2 years ago. Then we get into the weekend. Now, the records both days for June 15th and June 16th happened back in 1952 at 100 degrees. Not going to get there tomorrow, but look at Father's Day for Sunday. 99. Yes, every way to beat the heat is going to be just an absolute necessity for Sunday. Let's look back the last couple of Father's Days, the last 3 years. Last year, 87 degrees. 2 years ago, it was 89. And 3 years ago, it was in the low 90s. So all of those years, very similar, teetering around the 90-degree mark. We didn't have any rain the last 3 years. We have no rain this year. I wish we had some rain somewhere, but we don't. If we had it, it would help us stop doing this. Take a look. Every day continues to be at or above 90 degrees. 96 for your Monday. Middle 90s on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I'm starting to look long-term, guys. When you start seeing this many 90s in a row, You have to go, when are we tapping the brakes and getting back out of this pattern? My first indications might not make you that happy. I'll give you those details coming up in about 10 minutes.
Well, Greg, it's not just 90s, it's 90 plus. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later here. Let's take a look at this right now. 65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is in Madison. We had an overturned car there a little bit earlier this morning. Looks like they've gotten the car out of the grass. The tow truck is there on the scene now. They're trying to clear it quickly because it is shutting down at least a couple of lanes, and that is causing a bit of a backup. Again, this is coming down from Madison, from Rivergate. Good morning, all of you north of town, White House or Linda. If you're making that drive down 65, this could affect you. Millersville. Dickerson Pike is a good way to steer clear. Gallatin Pike, another way to steer clear, but it too is causing some problems, especially Gallatin. It's very busy up there. 48 minutes overall on the drive right now. If you wanted to stay on I-65, we'll continue to follow things for you live through 9.
Now to a developing story here on Fox 17 News this Friday morning. Police are investigating a shooting that happened around midnight last night. It happened over on 921 Woodland Street. So far, Fox 17 News, we have learned that one woman was shot and is currently recovering from her injuries this morning. Fox 17 News also, though, working to get some more updates about the latest shooting. So as more updates become available, we'll be sure to share it with you.
In Operation Crime and Justice, the TBI is now searching for a former Springfield school principal who's being charged with multiple counts of rape of a child.
Very disturbing story here. Jonathan Ulrich, the man right here on your screen, an ex-principal at Longview Elementary School, is wanted by the Murray County Sheriff's Office. According to the TBI, while on bond following his December of 2022 indictment, this man cut off his ankle monitor and then took off before his court date.
Anyone with information about his whereabouts is asked to contact the TBI. 1-800-TBI-FIND. There is a reward right now of up to $2,500 that is being offered for information leading to his capture.
Unfortunately, here on Fox 17 News, we've been talking about an increase in crime in the Bellevue area, and now folks are trying to do whatever they can to increase safety in their neighborhoods.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live this morning in Bellevue talking to neighbors about why they put up a license plate reader in their neighborhood.
That's right, and this comes after we've reported on a recent rash of serious crimes, including robberies and murders. And we also know that right here in Bellevue, there is a shortage of police officers. But this group of people right here in this neighborhood is trying to take matters into their own hands. They have asked from the company Flock for them to install license plate readers at the front, side, and back of Poplar Creek, where I'm at. And I want you to take a look at this sign right here behind me. It says security notice. For people that are driving into this neighborhood, they tell me that this serves as a deterrent. But let's say you don't see this sign and someone goes into this neighborhood, commits a crime. Now they can catch you on tape right with this license plate reader that you're seeing in front of me that they tell me costs around $2,000 a year. But they tell me it's completely worth it, and they have been able to mitigate some of these crimes, and they're also hoping that other people can take part. Now, Charlie Tigert, he's one of those neighbors who have partaken in this movement, and he says that it is the job of county officials to make sure that there's enough funding for these license plate readers. And we're working to reach out to Metro Council and anybody else that is a local leader that could potentially give us some answers if they are able to provide some funding for these license plate readers. Reporting live here in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
We're new this morning. Citizens and former city employees in Gallatin are speaking out after a city council member resigned because of allegations of being bullied. We're going to tell you why they are trying to push back against those kind of tactics in the future.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with Feed.
Coming up on 8:09 here on this Friday morning, several weeks ago, a former Gallatin City Council member and a local real estate agent, Eileen George, resigned from the council. She resigned because she says she was being bullied by another council member and citizens online. Now, some of the people who knew Eileen George and still know her, she's still alive, she just quit from the council, is now coming to her defense. And that includes members of the Gallatin Planning Commission, former city council members, and even the city's former IT director, who all say that the tactics used against her have to stop.
Bullying, harassment, misinformation are not tools for holding officials accountable. They are tools of manipulation and division, and ones that are being extensively used both in the city and the county. To those who are aligning themselves with this divisive group, I urge you to reflect on the impact of your actions. The city and county need unity and constructive solutions, not division and animosity. You all have to work together to address the challenges with integrity, respect, and a genuine desire for the common good, not for a self-serving, ego-feeding personal agenda.
Now, the city of Gallatin is expected to appoint a replacement for the open seat left by Eileen George coming up here over the next few weeks. Continuing coverage as police say that cadaver dogs were used on Tuesday to look for a missing baby out of Reynolds Station, Kentucky. That is just north of Bowling Green. The baby's parents, as well as the baby's grandfather, are all facing charges, including child abandonment and drug charges as well. The authorities there say that the dogs searched a church cemetery as well as a wooded area behind the family's home for 8-month-old Maya Rudd. The Kentucky State Troopers say there are no updates to give on that search right now. They do say that police plan to bring in ground sonar equipment for more investigations. We're also learning about the circumstances that led up to Maya's disappearance to begin with. State police say that Maya's 3 older siblings were all removed from their home by state officials before. When Maya was born back in October, she tested positive for drugs. At that point, she was supposed to be removed from her parents' home as well. However, around May 30th, relatives notified police that they had not seen the baby since late April. Maya's parents, you're looking at them here, Tesla Tucker, as well as Cage Rudd, and her grandfather, Ricky J. Smith, have all been arrested. Well, it is game day for the Tennessee Volunteers. They will begin what they hope will be a World Series run tonight as they take on Florida State and Omaha, Nebraska in the College World Series. Tennessee is set to play in their 3rd World Series in 4 years. This is a double elimination tournament, so even if the Vols do lose tonight, they will still get another game to redeem themselves.
The big picture in the forecast coming up is just the fact that we're going to be not only at or above 90 degrees, we could be near triple digits twice in the next 10 days. We'll find those hottest days for you.
And Steer Clear traffic takes us to the north side, 65 at Old Hickory Boulevard in Madison. Traffic moving along very, very nicely so far. We did have a big crash here that slowed things down, but it has since cleared. Great news for you as you get out and about on this Friday. We're also live this morning outside of the Tennessee State Capitol. You're looking at it right there. We're breaking down the
8:15 is the time, and new this Friday morning, the Maury County Fire Department is warning folks to be careful as they clean up after last month's EF3 tornado.
They say that a person was seriously hurt yesterday after being pinned against a vehicle by a tree limb. This happened on Old Highway 99. They say that person was life-flighted to Vanderbilt Medical Center. Crews are now asking people to please wear protective equipment during cleanup and be aware that the trees could shift as they're being cut.
Well, students are out on summer vacation, but right now we have continuing coverage on standardized test scores for Tennessee 3rd graders.
Now, there is some improvement when it comes to reading out there this morning. Let's get to Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse, who's live for us this morning at the steps of the Capitol Legislative Plaza, where lawmakers passed this into existence a few years ago.
That's right, Justin and Erica. So the English Language Arts, or ELA, portion of the TCAP scores for the state of Tennessee are in. And overall, this state is doing exceptionally better, and state educators tell us that this is a very good sign. Now, according to Tennessee's Department of Education, in 2023, the state made historic gains for third grade reading. This is very important because of the third grade retention law, which requires anyone who fails the test to repeat the third grade. And the whole reason this third grade retention law is put in place is to make sure kids have the foundation and basic building blocks to be a strong reader. Last year, 40% of third graders scored proficient in ELA, and in 2022, those scores sat at about 35.7%, and that's more than a 4% increase. J.C. Bowman, who has decades of teaching experience and now advocates for teachers and students through the Professional Educators of Tennessee, says we can take this as a victory.
It does show that the learning camps and the tutoring is having an impact and benefiting kids. The other thing for me, Peyton, the big takeaway is that I think you have to come back and look at, we need to identify these kids earlier with reading difficulties. So we need to find them in kindergarten, first grade, second grade.
What we'll be telling, Bowman says, is the final numbers of third graders who will have to repeat third grade. And we asked the state when those numbers will be ready, and they say first TCAP, those results will come out sometime towards the end of this summer, and then in the fall we'll see the retention numbers. Reporting live at the Capitol, Peyton Hughes, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you so much for that update. We do want to now get an update regarding your Friday forecast. I know you were talking about the pool forecast. For me, I'm not even chancing it. I'm staying inside.
Hot. I mean, if you want to brave it, just know a few things before you get out the door and, post up for the day. I'm with you, though. And so many people don't even have a pool, but maybe it's a sprinkler day. Just get the hose out. Anything to try to calm down and cool down a little. Know what you're getting into. So here's the forecast first when it comes to temperature, and then I'll tell you what I mean by what you're getting into. First, obviously, the heat. 85 degrees at 10 o'clock already. 93 degrees at 2 o'clock. We're going to be at or above 90 from noon all the way through 7 p.m. And it's going to be nearly unlimited sunshine. So sunscreen multiple times, of course. And I know we harp on that, but this is why. UV index doesn't get much higher. 15 minutes without either clothes or something, whether that be sunscreen or some shade protecting you. 15 minutes. You start getting a sunburn. That's not that long. Think about how long it takes you to do just a couple of outside activities or chores very quickly. Humidity, a little bit noticeable, but not that bad today. It'll be very similar to yesterday. It really is going to be the heat and the sun beating down on us. Pollen counts, though, too. If you're a grass pollen sufferer, today is going to be one of those days that you have to watch a little more carefully than others, and that's going to be the rest of this week as well. Tree pollen is pretty much done for the season, depending upon what type of trees you've got in your yard. Or maybe you're saying, forget about it. I'm going to stay in the AC all day and find an excuse to maybe just go out to dinner. Find another air-conditioned room with human beings around you that doesn't involve you having to be outside. So outdoor temperatures here for tonight, 92 degrees at 6 o'clock, 91 at 7 p.m., and then at 8 o'clock, 86 degrees, and for some reason I feel like I should be a waiter in this graphic. Just kind of dials up there. But whatever you're going to do to try to beat the heat, go for it. 95 degrees will be your high today, 99 on Sunday. The heat will be overbearing at times throughout this weekend. 96 on Monday, and it continues into Tuesday and Wednesday. I told you I'd give you my first thoughts on how long this could last. Well, one hint is that Friday of next week could be up near triple digits. So we're not quite done yet, even though it's not on the 7-day forecast yet.
All right. Brace yourself. That's all. Get that electric bill money ready to go as well. This is a live look at I-40 at I-24. This is on the south side a little bit there as you make that drive into town there. We do have a crash on the shoulder of the road. That is the Tennessee Highway Patrol dealing with this particular crash, which is a little rare sometimes to see them operating within the city of Nashville. They can and they do, but they're handling this particular crash there. Right around 2nd Avenue on the south side. You can get by. No big problems or delays right now. We had an earlier crash north of town near Old Hickory Boulevard. That crash in the Madison area has since cleared, and traffic is open and free-flowing yet again. We'll get you an updated drive time from there coming up in a few.
Well, talking about Madison and cracking down on crime, we're going to explain how folks in Belleville. We're back right now with Operation Crime and Justice updates. This Franklin man, now indicted on 25 counts related to identity theft and sexual offense, held on a $1 million bond. The Franklin Police Department says that Gordon Grigg has been promoting himself as a life coach in order to make contact with potential victims.
Now, Greg was arrested Wednesday and is now being held in the Williamson County Jail as a result of those crimes. We'll continue to follow that story. Let's talk about the mother of a Tennessee teenager who disappeared in Pensacola, Florida, but is now in custody.
Pensacola police say that the teenager's biological mother, Crystal Hornsby, was arrested Tuesday in St. Petersburg on charges of interference with child custody. The teenager, Abigail Kate Velez, says that she has been found. She is also reunited with her adoptive mother.
All right, 8:24 is the time. Let's get to Greg. He's going to tell us about temperatures not at 90, but 90s, like plural, like 95, 96.
99 by Sunday. Oh, yeah, we're not just stopping and teetering right around 90. We're going to fly right past that. And, of course, AC on or off. Well, duh, Greg, of course the AC is going to be on. No, I'm showing you for a reason, because what you need to know when we have temperatures that are this hot, especially when we're near 100 on Sunday, is your air conditioner might not do the job that it's doing today as functionally. Because what it's supposed to do is just remove heat from the air. It's not designed for temperatures 100 and above. It's designed for average size homes and average temperatures for that time of the year. It can handle 90, but when you get to 100, it's designed to cool you off 20 degrees cooler than the air temperature outside. Sometimes it can get you a little cooler than that depending upon where your AC is positioned on which side of your house, if it gets a lot of sunlight. But keep that in mind. If you have it set to 70 and you're stuck in the mid 70s on Sunday, your air conditioner's not broke. It just isn't really supposed to do much better than it's trying to do. 92 degrees today in Manchester, 94 on Saturday, and 95 on Sunday. So, Bonnaroo, folks, it's just getting started here when it comes to the heat. Going to be hot all 3 days. The nighttime temperatures get a little more abrasive as well. The day to really watch for, just being careful in general for everyone, is going to be Sunday, when the heat index could be upwards of 100 degrees.
8:26 is the time. Let's talk about your steer clear traffic as we continue to deal with the leftovers of a crash right here at I-40, very close to 2nd and 4th Avenue there on the south side. As you can see there, traffic moving along really nicely. Not a big issue happening there as you make that drive into town from that south side this morning. We are looking to be accident free, I believe, on the interstate systems out there. That's I-24, Haywood Lane, looking pretty good from over there too. So no major tie-ups right now. We'll take a look at your drive times, but we were dealing with a big issue north of town in Madison. That issue has now cleared near Old Hickory Boulevard as they've been able to tow several cars out of the way.
Police are searching for 3 people in connection to a shooting that killed a teenager. We're going to have some more photos and how police say you can help.
And one community is pulling together.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
A drug bust took place in Mount Juliet. We're going to tell you about the person that police arrested after a traffic stop that led to quite a find.
And waking up here, the sun is up. We're already heating up. We're going to be up to near 90 degrees before we even hit lunchtime. Folks, we're not in a heat wave. We're in a prolonged heat wave. How long we're going to see back-to-back 90-degree days coming up in just minutes.
And steer clear traffic here on I-40. This is near 2nd Avenue at the South Loop there. One car pulled over waiting for a tow truck. But we'll tell you about what else is happening around town coming up in the next few minutes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Friday morning. I know, Justin, you always say we made it.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You made it to Friday. Let's get going here with the weather, because you may not want to see Friday, depending on if you like temperatures in the mid-90s.
It's a hot and steamy kind of Friday.
It is.
It 100% is. And that's going to lead into a hot and steamy Saturday, hot and steamy Sunday as well. The next weather maker is just going to be all of the heat. If, in a typical pool or, on a typical shoreline, you have a wave, a heat wave, comes in, goes out. This is a heat tsunami. We've got a good 10 days worth of hot temperatures. 90s, here's what I'm looking at. Now, take this word for word here. 90s for the rest of the month cannot be ruled out. Now, it's not a guarantee that every day does hit the marker, but every day for the rest of the month, it's possible we hit 90 degrees. That's a long stretch there. Little to no rain ahead during that time frame, especially the next 10 days. Air quality alert is in effect for us all the way through midnight. That means that areas that are close to maybe, say, a few of our areas where we're heavily trafficked, where we have a lot of carbon dioxide going into the air, we have allergens that are out there, respiratory issues, the very young, the very old, people that are most at risk for strenuous activity outside. Taking a look, we're at 79 degrees, almost no one out there on Lower Broadway as you'd expect this time of the day. And folks, we're going to brave it to go out this weekend. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Take a look here. We'll give you the big picture first, and then we'll chunk it out into little pieces within the next half hour. 95 today, 93 degrees tomorrow, near 100 at 99 for Father's Day. That's almost a record. And then we'll stay in the middle 90s Monday through Thursday.
8:32 is the time. Let's take a look at your steer clear traffic as you get out there this morning. Let's get started here at I-40 at 2nd Avenue there on the south side. That is where we're dealing with one car that's still waiting on a tow truck to come pull that out of the way. Car suffered some front end damage, so it's not going to be able to drive off on its own. So it's just a car and THP waiting on the tow truck, not causing big delays, no lane blockage there. This is something we just picked up on I-40. This is at Spence Lane there as you make that drive out there in the East Nashville area, just east of downtown. The car pulled over in the zebra stripes, and you can see somebody out there working, looking around, or they're replacing a flat. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but they're trying to get out of the zebra stripes. I can tell you that much. We'll continue to watch it there as you come in from the east part of downtown.
We're getting some more photos into our Fox 17 newsroom because Metro Police detectives, they are working hard trying to track down 3 people wanted for questioning regarding Wednesday's deadly shooting of a teenager over at a park in Madison.
Police say it was 16-year-old Justin Robinson who was killed in a shooting on North DuPont Avenue there in Madison. According to Metro Police, Robinson was in the park with another teen when they got into an argument with at least 2 other young men. Police say Robinson and his friend began to walk away. That is when the shots were fired at them. Robinson was hit in the back as he ran away.
Then his friend pulled out his own gun and returned fire. That's according to police, who say they recovered the friend's pistol. Police say the shooter is unknown in this case, but is believed to have been living in the Madison Park area. Anyone who is looking at this photo and recognizes those involved is asked to go ahead and call Crime Stoppers. The number is 615-742-7463.
Well, after an uptick in crime, not just in Madison, but also in Bellevue and other places, there are people who are taking the matter of trying to stop the crime into their own hands, even if that means a financial investment.
Yeah, we're hearing from them this Friday morning. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live in Bellevue to explain.
Good morning. How they're taking matters into their own hands is by getting license plate readers in their neighborhoods. Now, Justin, you might remember that you did a similar story back in 2021 in the Haynes Park neighborhood, a subdivision of North Nashville, where people just wanted to feel safer and they wanted to fight crime, even try to deter it. And so basically these license plate readers serve as that, as a deterrent, and they don't track faces, they just track license plates. And so you can see with this sign here behind me, as people drive in, they are aware that they are being monitored on camera. And this idea of getting these license plate readers installed came from a group of 3 people right here in the Poplar Creek neighborhood of Bellevue that has seen a recent uptick of violent crime, as you just mentioned. I'm here with one of those people who helped make it all happen. Diane, tell me about how safer you feel with these license plate readers, and do you feel that other neighborhoods should do the same thing?
Well, thank you for having us, and absolutely, I think it's makes all residents feel safer. It's one of the tools in our toolkit to keep us safe and secure. So, you know, it's part of an overall safety system that we have, and really one of the most important parts of that are the neighbors that speak up. If they see something, they say something, unusual traffic patterns, and from there we can easily look up and identify license plates. The neighbor can then share that with the police, and it takes off from there.
Right, and so the hope is that license plate readers could be in possibly every neighborhood, but of course it does cost money. Each license plate reader is $2,000 a year, just to give you an idea of how pricey it could be to some people. So the ask is for at least Charlie, the other person who's involved in this, is for there to be funding coming from the city so that other neighborhoods could have the same opportunities that people here in Poplar Creek have. So we are working on getting comment from the city, potentially Metro Council, who has discussed this before at length. And when we receive an answer, we will update you. Reporting live here in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
A Nashville police officer is facing charges for appearing in an OnlyFans video while he... Well, new this morning in Operation Crime and Justice, the Mount Juliet Police Department says that a traffic stop last night on Herschel Drive led to the discovery of an impaired driver, a wanted person, and crack cocaine.
A lot going on there. Police say when they pulled the car over, a woman ran away from the car but was found hiding in a bush in a nearby hotel. Police say when they searched the car, they found, yes, crack cocaine, marijuana, and then also drug paraphernalia.
They say the man that was driving the car was found to be under the influence and also driving on a revoked driver's license. They say that the woman was also found to be impaired and was wanted for arrest out of Wilson and Williamson counties. So they were able to get those two people plus a lot of drugs off the street.
8:40 is the time. If you're just now waking up with Fox 17 News, it's going to be another hot day.
Yes, it is. Greg Bob is standing by to tell us about temperatures in the mid-90s, Greg.
There's no way around it. We hit 94 yesterday. Today might hit 94, 95. Here's the catch, though. If you get up to the plateau yesterday or away from Nashville itself, a few of us were lucky enough to just stay in the 80s. This time around, we're all in the 90s. Sun is already out there. That 94-degree temperature we had made it our fourth 90-degree day so far this year. We averaged 49. We're going to add 7 more to it very, very quickly. First day of summer, 6 days away. Every day leading up to it, going to be 90 or above. 4th of July, 20 days away. You must say it. Every day leading up to it could be right around or warmer than 90 degrees all the way through the 4th of July. So find ways to stay cool, find ways to beat the heat. We're in this for the long haul, and one of those could just be to find a body of water. So what state has the longest freshwater shoreline? Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, or Ohio? I'll have the answer for you when we look at your 7-day forecast coming up in about 10 minutes.
Steer clear traffic at 8:41. A quick look here at what we're dealing with at I-40 at I-24 there. This is on the South Loop, very close to the 2nd Avenue exit as you make your way out of town. A tow truck finally on the scene there to take away the leftovers of a crashed car as they talk to THP. This will be out of your way here in about 10 minutes. And it's really not in your way now. It's just something for the looky-loos, the people who like to slow down and see who's that over there, what they doing. Those are the people who are slowing down. Everybody else is fine. This is a look at I-40 at Spence Lane, not too far away from that crashed car. We were dealing with another disabled vehicle in the zebra stripes here a short time ago. They were able to figure out whatever issue they had, and now they are out of there. We're looking at a lot better coming in from that east side.
Let's get on over to an update with Operation Crime and Justice, because a former Metro police officer right here on your screen is now facing charges of felony official misconduct after police say he appeared in an OnlyFans video. It's an OnlyFans adult video website while on duty. Metro Police say Sean Herman was fired in May after investigation discovered the adult video and also identified him.
Now, police claim that the video was made on the evening of April the 26th in a Madison area warehouse parking lot. They say Herman was on duty at the time. He was a patrol officer out of the Madison precinct, which is not too far away from that location. Herman was employed by the Metro Police Department for 3 years.
A class is aiming to give everyone a fair shot at boxing. Our Fox 17 News sports director, Jill Jelnick, has this inspiring story.
Fox 17 News watching your traffic and your weather. In your community this morning, a Nashville group is working to make sure that adults with special needs still have a chance to get in the game.
Yeah, Fox 17 sports director Jill Jelnick shining a light on a popular free class offered by Metro Parks for folks with disabilities.
1, 2.
Jared Houston has trained some of the best.
1, 2.
From world champion boxers to top heavyweight prospects.
Flow.
He has coached some of the sport's biggest names.
Nice, double.
But his heart
Come on, Tay-Tay.
belongs to his Friday afternoon class.
Everybody ready? Heads up, please.
Twice a month, adults with special needs gather in the lobby at Title Boxing, eagerly waiting for Jared to start the class.
It was positive. Let's do this, Rachel.
The combinations he takes them through gets their blood pumping, the same as his other classes.
Jab, cross, uppercut.
The cardio?
Come on.
The same as his other classes.
5, 4, 3, burpees, go. Don't you look at me like that, Patricia. Nice work.
And the encouragement.
That's it. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Hey, you're a superstar. Look at you on camera. Let's go.
Same as his other classes.
Jab, cross, scoop the ice cream, hook.
We're all the same. We just learn differently. We just learn at different levels. We might look different. We might act different. We might have different beliefs, but we all feel the same.
I like it a lot. It's more fun. It's more exercise, make you calm down.
It's really good. Taylor Krieg is a regular at the boxing class.
Perfect.
Taylor will tell you that first and foremost, she is a princess, but she has also turned into quite the boxer.
Straight punches, let's go.
Taylor has grown in her confidence, in her ability to think and move faster. She had a little bit of difficulty being fast enough to do things, and it's gotten so much better.
Here we go.
While Jared coaches the class, it is managed
Let's go, Max.
by Metro Parks Disabilities.
Go work, go work, go work.
When the program started 2 years ago, Jared didn't realize at first that participants had to pay just to attend.
Go with it, 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 go with it.
And he changed that right away.
It was like the third class when he came to us, and he said, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, oh, shoot. And then he said, I can't charge you all. This is not right.
It puts in perspective why I do what I do. It's a heartbeat that I can feel because you don't know that you're breathing until you stop breathing, until you panic. My heart stops. I can actually feel my heartbeat when I'm with them. I can feel it.
Nice, nice, Rach, come on.
Metro Parks Disabilities serves roughly 160 people per week.
Hook, hook, scoop the ice cream.
And while there are a handful of classes to choose from,
Nice work, a little bit more, take that foot back.
Jared's class is one of the few that is free.
I hope more people will see what's going on here and that more people can step up and make it more possible for them to be out there and to live a full life, be inclusive.
When you take this Friday class, what do they take away? What do they walk away with?
Pride. Pride and accomplishment, but a lot of pride.
Good work, Harrison. Great job.
Classes like Jared's also bring a heightened awareness to the disabilities community.
Great work. Thank you, man.
That people with special needs jab the same, sweat the same.
Here we go, Blaine.
And laugh the same.
Ooh. When Andrew comes in, or Taylor comes in, or Blaine hugs me, or Max says thank you, it's always what I need because they don't care what I've been throughout the week. They don't care what I've thought. They don't care anything. They just know in that moment, we get to have fun and whatever exchange it is joy.
Joy that can not only be seen, but also felt. Just like a heartbeat. Jill Jelnick.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
We are following breaking news out of the city of Gallatin this morning. That is where the mayor is confirming that one person was seriously hurt after a home explosion that happened a few hours ago.
Yeah, the mayor telling us that fire crews believe a natural gas leak caused that explosion. We are still right now working to get out some more details and exactly where this happened, the road. We'll update you on this breaking news story in just a couple of minutes, though.
And here we are switching gears to your weather forecast this morning. First thing we'll do is give you your answer to bodies of water and a curious question I asked you about 5 minutes ago. And this has to do with, well, the Great Lakes. All these areas border them. What state has the longest freshwater shoreline? If you guessed Michigan on the list, you were right. The UP helps give them a lot of freshwater shoreline. Now you got our dog of the day. We got two of them. We have Charlotte and Kensington. At Meredith and Ted from Spring Hill, you got two little cuties right there, but we're taking care of all of our four-legged friends, just like our kids, just like ourselves. We're stuck in this weather pattern now, so we're getting close to that time of the morning where a dog walk will not be comfortable for you or for all of our dogs we're taking out there. Take a look. We're at 90 degrees by the time we hit noon, and we keep on going. Also, to keep on the back of your mind here, if you're parking your car, even for just a few minutes, do not leave any living being, whether that be our kids, our friends, our four-legged friends, in the vehicle. And I know we say it every year when it starts to get hot outside, but when we're going to have a heat index value near 100 on Sunday and temperatures that will be up there as well, it's dangerous heat. It's real quick, and your 7-day forecast is coming at you real quick in about 4 minutes in the last check of the forecast.
All right, at 8:51, we continue to follow the breaking news out of Gallatin. That's where emergency crews are trying to figure out exactly what happened after a home explodes.
Yeah, some more video and photos coming into our newsroom. We're going to share some of those up. Fox 17 News working to get some more information about breaking news out of Gallatin. That is where the mayor has confirmed one person was seriously hurt after a home exploded just this morning.
She tells us that fire officials believe that it was a natural gas leak that caused that explosion. We're still trying to figure out exactly where in the city that this explosion took place there. Again, this happened in the city of Gallatin. We can tell you for a fact that they had to shut down a couple of roads there in Gallatin a little bit earlier this morning. They were Coles Ferry to 109 that was shut down a little bit earlier, and they have since worked to clean it up. We're going to get you more details online at fox17.com.
Right now, though, we do want to make sure you're up to speed when it comes to your forecast.
Treat today like yesterday, and you should be okay. That means we're going to have temperature.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
Sue Foley, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you very much.
It's so much better having you in person, and I have a feeling too, especially with this new album, and I gotta tell you, I can't get enough of this, One Guitar Woman, that is out now. What motivated you to do these songs, just you and a guitar?
Well, I think the treatment of them, because it's very traditional music basically, and I was studying artists, like you say, from Maybelle Carter's, Carter's Scratch, and now I look back, that's almost 100 years old.
Wow.
So, and Elizabeth Cotton, most of the treatments were respectful of the actual treatments of their music.
What an incredible thing to be able to acknowledge other female pioneers that have done, played guitar and done incredible music, but also to bring your own interpretation.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, it's a passion project, and I always say these are the women whose footsteps I walk in, and who paved the way for me, and we're doing it at a time when it was really not done. Like now we see so many great women shredders, and it's fantastic. But even when I was coming up, there was a lot less. But when they were coming up, there was none.
Right, exactly.
So you got to imagine they had something in their character where they did